Hey everyone, Brian from 3 Geeky Dads here. Before we begin tonight's episode, I just want everyone to know that we are now sponsored by Audible. As an IT professional for a school department, I find myself behind the wheel of my car traveling between schools almost all day long, and that's where Audible comes in. Right now, I'm enjoying listening to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, read by Stephen Fry. It's so enjoyable to hear this hilarious audiobook read by a proper British comic actor. And that's just scratching the surface. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word content, with everything from bestsellers, celebrity memoirs, and news to podcasts. Yes, if you're into podcasts, and you're listening to us right now, so we can assume you do, Audible has got you covered. Just go to www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial. You'll get 1 credit, 2 credits if you're already an Amazon Prime member. That's good for any premium selection titles you like, and they're yours to keep. You also get the Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals. Listen all you want. No credits needed. Again, that's www.audibletrial.com/3GD. $14.95 a month after your 30-day trial. Cancel at any time. Audible. Stay informed, connected, and inspired. And now, on with the show.
Warning, incoming dad joke. Warning, incoming dad joke.
Hey guys, what did Zack Snyder ask his barber for?
I don't know what.
A director's cut.
He loves those. Yeah.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
It was like a pink nightmare. Christmas has a Yule log. Not a log, I don't have a log, but it's...
All that I have, all that I've done, everything I feel, all this and more I bequeath you, my son.
Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the Lightning.
We named the dog Indiana. I am your father.
That's true. He walks in and he just says, "Give me the Snyder cut," right?
That's right.
And then the barber cuts his hair.
takes
in
forever.
Super slow motion.
It's a 4-hour haircut.
It's a 4-hour
Off
haircut.
center. The measurements are just all wrong.
Yeah. The haircut is taller than it is wider.
Oh, this is going to be a fun one. Hello and welcome to another thrilling episode of 3 Geeky Dads, the show that is known to always get the ladies in the mood to beat us over the heads with baseball bats. I am Mark, and with me as always are the new and jack to my city,
Derek.
And Brian.
and joining us as always to say screw you to math and the title of our show, the man who's Nino Brown to the rest of us poor white pookie trash, Tito. And if you haven't seen New Jack City, then all this has been wasted on you, and I am sorry.
I was hoping you were going to call me poor white trash Pookie.
Well,
because that's what I want to be.
You already were. You've
I'm
told
the
me many
Peretti of
times.
this show. I'm Peretti.
We bonded over a rooftop, and you
That's
admitted
true.
that.
We cried a
We
single
cried,
tear.
We did. I was poor white trash Pookie.
I was poor white trash Pookie.
And I said, how the fuck did you used to be, Pookie? And my worst iced tea impression.
And you were like,
ever.
I want to shoot you so bad my dick is on.
That came later.
Best line
That was
I've ever
after you.
heard.
That was.
Come out of Ice-T's mouth.
That's saying something too.
Yeah.
We got to watch that movie. We got to do a show on New Jack City sometime. If we do Tito picks again,
Let's do
I
take it.
demand
We
you.
could take it to the streets.
Oh, I like that. Take it to the
Nice.
streets.
Do all of them. Trespass, Free Jack, New Jack City,
Yeah,
Free
every
Jack,
Ice
New
Tea.
Jack.
Judgment Night.
We could do Jack Off month, right? Jack month. New Jack, Free Jack.
Jack with Robin Williams.
How's everybody doing? We're all in a good mood
kangaroo
tonight.
one with
Kangaroo Jack.
Oh, yeah. That's the one with the kangaroo Jack.
Jack off January.
That's awesome. What's that movie with Jack?
No, that's James and the Giant Peach. I'm like, Jack and the Giant Peach? No, that's James.
Jack and the Giant Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack?
Jack the Giant Killer.
Jacko? Jack's back.
Jack with Robin Williams.
This
when
is
he's the
fun.
old
Let's
guy.
just do this for the whole show.
It's like a word association all
Yeah.
night long.
I think Brian would be happy if we did this.
I think I would be.
Everybody doing good? Everybody have a good week?
Doing great.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. You know, aliens are real now, guys. Everybody
Yeah.
hear about the
They're
Miami
only in
Mall
Florida.
thing? Or in Florida, we got aliens.
Yeah.
Yep. We have
Yeah, they-
aliens.
Interdimensional being.
Their ships are like the TARDIS.
Yeah,
They're
they
like
can,
as big
yeah.
as a football field.
They're traveling
inside,
through
but-
portals.
Yeah.
Yeah, people saw a
That's what I
bunch of
heard.
tall gray aliens going in and out of portals.
And now they've all got a backstory for them.
yeah.
Some blurry footage taken like 500 yards away.
And what's funny is that got buried in page 6, and the top story was Taylor Swift getting offended at the Golden Globes.
She
over
didn't
a
get
joke.
offended. She didn't.
No, she was offended.
No.
You see the?
Well, no,
did you
but
see the
you know
video
what?
of her?
Okay, well,
Did
there's
you
a
see
difference.
The drink she was
Chris
taking?
Rock, I mean, Will Smith got offended and friggin' walked up and slapped the host.
Yeah, I know.
All she did was she just fucking looked at him and sipped her drink.
No, she looked at him and said, "I'm going to fuck you up after."
And you know what?
And not in a
As
good
she
way.
should.
Oh,
As
yeah.
she should.
I mean,
Taylor, I got your back.
I didn't watch the Golden Globes.
she was.
And your
I
front.
didn't either. I just saw this on YouTube and I thought it was hilarious.
You know what bothers me about like the alien shit? And it's not aliens per se. It's like human beings' perception of what an alien is. Like,
Right.
Right.
Like fuck you. You don't think they wear shoes? Oh, like this. Like human beings are so. What's the word I'm trying to think of?
Set in comfort. They
No.
they clothe themselves to be
Fucking
comfortable.
Gullible.
No,
Gullible?
not gullible. What is it when you just think you're the
Naive?
fucking center of the fucking universe?
Narcissistic.
no,
Bingo.
yeah.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Where it's like, oh, they have this amazing technology, but they're like too advanced for clothes or dicks or vaginas or like how are they making these other aliens? Like, come on, man.
Osmosis.
It's an
They got-
interesting.
they might wear clothes. They might wear socks. We don't know.
Maybe they've evolved
You know?
beyond all that.
kind of-
Maybe it doesn't hurt their feet when they walk on sand
They're
or
so-
rocks or
'cause
anything
they're so
advanced. Yeah.
They're actually not even touching the surface. They're like millimeters above.
right.
They're
They're just
hovering
Oh, they're
floating.
hovering.
imperceptibly
Yeah.
above the ground.
Yeah.
I figure if you can like travel through other dimensions, like through portals, like this and that, you wouldn't need shoes.
Fuck shoes.
not?
Like Dane Cook says, fuck shoes.
No, don't quote Dane Cook ever on the show. Come on,
It's actually a full
you're
body
better
condom.
than that, Derek.
Sorry.
But they love Coke.
They,
Coca-Cola.
They do. Well, if Mac
Keeps
and
them
Me,
alive.
were those the
Yeah.
Mac and Me aliens, or were those
The Mac and Me aliens love Coca-Cola.
Well, they like
Man.
sugar in general. Wasn't
Yeah.
it sugar that they
like
need?
sugar.
They like bubble gum.
They needed.
Yeah, definitely not smart enough to travel through portals. They just fall in the holes accidentally.
Crazy.
Yeah, stupid.
See,
All right.
see, Tito, they put on clothes and how'd they look?
Yeah,
they look
they didn't look
stupid.
good.
They look like Americans.
That's why the
And that's why they became Americans and they got their citizenship. They put suits on. They went to work. Like our fathers and their fathers and their fathers.
I'm gonna pop a can to that right there. Cheers to
there we
the
go.
Mac and Me alien. Cheers to the aliens,
cheers to the
wherever
aliens.
you are.
those awful rubber suits.
All right, so what? Mac and Me or the Miami ones?
Mac and me.
Oh, okay. So speaking of aliens, kind of, tonight the dads will be blasting off into outer space to a galaxy where women rule, men either die, sulk, kill, or scowl a lot, and characters just come and go as they please without any need of explanation because the story is none of our damn business. The non-Star Wars movie that can out-Star Wars The Last Jedi and still somehow manage to just meh along. I am talking about Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon Part 1, Child of Fire, or as I have come to call it, evil white men in space who can't cook for themselves. But before we enter a world of slow-mo and galactic crew cuts, our own Rebel of Moon Pie Makery, Brian, has baked us a delicious appetizer to start us off.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Go ahead, Moon Pie.
Moon pie. Is that what I'm going to be called the rest of the
that
night?
was Bastian's mom in
Moon
Never
Unit
Ending
Zappa.
Story.
Yeah.
I thought Moon Pie. You know, what's funny is she changed it from Whoopie Pie.
Good
because that
change.
just sounded
Good
ridiculous.
change.
Played by Whoopi Goldberg.
It used to be Shithouse.
Good change.
Good
It's a good
change.
change.
Oh, dude, speaking of, there's a part of this movie that reminded me of Men in Tights, and I'll get to it, and will just
Oh, I can't
remind me.
wait.
Yeah.
All right.
I started laughing, and Sarah's like, what are you laughing at? Because I'm like,
When they,
sneeze.
when they said if they don't have no tolls, then they don't have no rolls. Is that the,
no.
No, Ralph.
I'll get to it. Brian,
Yes.
sorry, go ahead.
It's all right. So if you heard us last week, as Mark said, we talked about the possibility of covering Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. Well, here we are a week later, and guess what we're talking about? Yes, against my kicking and screaming and all of my arguing, the guys decided that we would indeed be talking about Zack's latest self-indulgent offering. Netflix keeps throwing truckloads of money at this guy, and we unfortunately keep watching and talking about it. So here we go. Strap in for part 1 of Rebel Moon, a dumpster, a child of fire. And if you're wondering what that has to do with our appetizer this week, the entire premise of this movie has to do with gathering up a team to fight a superpower, much like the Magnificent Seven, much like Seven Samurai, much like A Bug's Life, much like Battle Beyond the Stars. So we thought it would be fun to come up with our own Magnificent Seven super team and see where this goes.
All right, so
Yes.
I believe we start with you this week, Tito.
Starting new year, new me, new appetizers.
New Moon.
New Moon. Rebel Moon. So first off, me, right? Because I'm
Well,
magnificent,
you're
so I'm
magnificent.
part of
Yeah.
the 7.
Well, you're the farmer.
You're
Yeah, the
perfect.
I'm a farmer. I'm
You're
gunner.
perfect, Tito.
In every shape and form.
Just the way
This was very tough because I only got 6 spots, and I couldn't give them all to Val Kilmer. So I only gave 1 spot to Val Kilmer, and I'm gonna go Mad Mardigan.
He's on my team,
man.
I gotta go him. I almost went Doc Holliday.
You could have made a team of just Val. That's what I thought you were going to do.
I considered it, but I was like, let me relax, because I gotta flesh the team out.
relax.
The team's got to be fleshed out. Number 2 on my team is Egg Shen and his 6 demon bag, because we need a really nice, smart, older gentleman with a bag
From
full of awesome
Big Trouble
shit.
in Little
From
China?
Big Trouble
Oh,
in
okay,
Little
yeah,
China.
okay.
Yes.
He will come out no more.
He's smart. He's got good ideas,
Yep.
and he's got the drink that either makes us gay or makes us really strong, or both.
Or both.
Right? Because that elevator scene is very
Homoerotic.
yeah, it's interesting.
I just thought they were all really high.
No, I was like, are they all into each
They're
other?
all into each
Because they're all like rubbing. Yeah. Is anybody else hot?
All right, okay.
Third on my list is Toph. Toph is from Avatar: The Last Airbender. She is the blind earthbender who invents metal bending. She is one of my favorite cartoon characters ever, and that is one of my favorite television series ever.
Nice.
Number 4, he's just the greatest of all time, right? It's Spider-Man. It's Peter Parker Spider-Man, because he's a lot of fun. I was thinking of like when we were in our downtime. You know, I want to have a bunch of people around when we're around the fire waiting for
Right.
the shit to go down. That we're gonna have a good time.
Because that's what these movies are about. Like they all kind of serve a purpose. Plus, they're all like they have their intricate personalities. So
Yeah,
there's different
right.
little, like,
Too many
nuances.
vowels in the kitchen. That could get dicey.
Spoil
Some
the soup.
of them do. We'll get to that
Some
too.
of them do.
Yeah.
And then so I had another problem. I was like, well, I can't have an entire list of Denzel Washington characters. I'll just go with Denzel Washington.
He's the actor.
Just the man, Denzel Washington himself. Because he's kind of fun. I like watching him talk about things.
And he's cooler than cool.
And he's cool as shit. He's got the best walk I've ever seen. And
And
then
he could reason with said enemy.
He
right?
potentially
He
could.
Potentially could.
He potentially could reason what's said out of me. And then when we're just hanging around by the fire, we need somebody to play us some tunes. I'm going to throw Prince in the mix. He's not really a fighter, but he's going to give us some good theme music. And he's going to sing a lot. It'll be very like Tolkien.
Okay. All right.
Only like funkier, like a funkier Tolkien.
A funkier Tolkien. A Fulkin.
A funkian.
Fulkin.
Yeah, so that's going to be my. He hangs out in the back.
He's Prince Bombadil.
He hangs
He's
out
just
in the
doing
back.
this
I
thing.
stick up, when shit goes down, I get
Yeah,
Prince, get in my back
he's
pocket.
like one of the
I
merry
keep him
men.
in my back
He's
pocket.
Alan Adale, the minstrel
Yeah,
from Robin
right.
Hood. I see where you're.
There you go.
I smell what you're cooking.
Put him under. He's like friend
Roger
Gene
Miller.
from
Yeah.
Willow. He's just a little thing. I just
Yeah.
tuck him away.
He's making you guys
Rule
feel
and
good.
friend Gene. Yeah, I just
he can
tuck
have
him
some
away.
of Akshen's drink,
Exactly.
get high or gay with one another, and
Get
have
Or both.
Prince fiddling about.
Exactly. Is anybody else hot?
As
always made me
as
think
he
they were
sings the
into each
bat
other.
dance theme or whatever. You know?
As he sings-
Just.
or doves cry, whatever.
Yeah.
That's my team.
That's a good team. I like that.
Nice. Very nice.
All right, so since I possess no athletic abilities and spaz at the sight of a bee, my defenses often act so crazy and insane that it makes me off-putting enough to keep enemies away. With this, I have assembled a team of batshit crazy, both real and not-so-real characters that would be my ideal bonkers brigade. Now, to make it a little more challenging to me, I did no monsters or superpowered beings allowed, just to see, just to keep it kind of
fun
real. I wanted to see what I could do.
Yeah.
So my first one, I get a time machine, get myself General S. Patton, because he would be in charge of tactical. Because not only was he fucking insane, but he knew how to fucking, according to my dad, do everything right. So that one's for you, Vinny. He'd be in charge of tactical. Next, I'd get Marvin Boggs from Red. The guy, John Malkovich, played him in the movie Red. That shit insane, but excellent with weapons. So if it came to that, I'd have Malkovich. And I think he'd also be entertaining and provide some comedy relief. Next, I need my silent guy, the guy no one knows what he's thinking. I went Spinks from Gone in 60 Seconds, played by the great Vinnie Jones.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not only for the cool and silent type, but also because he's defense. He's defense. Also, I would have Marv from Sin City, who could narrate my whole adventure, film noir style. Because, if this is going to get turned into a book or a movie, you need awesome narration. And who better than Mickey Rourke as Marv? And then for my secret weapon that I don't unleash until I absolutely need to, my go-to, my ace up my sleeve,
Take the
I
chains
have
off.
Sisu.
Oh,
He's my
very
secret
cool.
weapon.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Sisu.
Nice.
Killing
Yeah.
machine.
And just for giggles, Gary Busey.
Yeah.
Just for fun. He'd be in the back
That's
making
a
us
good one,
laugh
dude.
by
I
the
like
fire.
Busey.
Yeah, Busey.
Yeah, I
Although
would
now
have
that I
him.
think about it, though,
Mr.
this is
Joshua?
not a very diverse
He's
team.
insane.
Yeah, but I don't have a diverse team. So if one of them got sick, I'd bring in the female from The Boys because she is
you go.
awesome.
She is awesome.
And is
Oh,
super
yeah, yeah,
insane.
Kumiko, right? Is that the character's name in that?
Kumiko, yeah.
Kumiko.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's a baddie, too.
She is a baddie,
Yeah.
and
And
she's
honey.
insane. And in the book, she's even crazier than in the movie. Like,
Okay.
a butcher, and I know there's a character called Butcher, but she is more of a butcher.
More of a butcher.
And I would be there for simply sex appeal. I'd let everybody else do the work and say, hey, guys, this is what you're fighting for.
Somebody's got to be the face.
Absolutely.
Oh, Busey walking around. He always talks like that.
Dude, if I should have done a team of Buseys, man. Mr. Joshua, Uncle Red. Who the hell was he in Under Siege?
A team of Buseys versus a team of Kilmers.
Oh, dude. There's an episode, and there's a versus episode.
Celebrity deathmatch.
Gary Busey versus Val Kilmer and the many roles they play.
It's a win-win
it's a
every single
win-win
time.
For Val Kilmer. pretty
America
much.
wins.
Derek, how about you, my friend?
All right, I do have quite a diverse team, and I didn't mean to do it. So, well, no, I don't want it to. I want the audience to know that I didn't
Unusual.
force this. Like this isn't, All right, my number one pick from the draft, Cassandra Cain, my favorite
That was a
Bat
given.
kid.
Yeah.
Awesome assassin, smart. She's basically the runner up to take over the mantle of the Bat. Yeah, I didn't really want to throw Batman in there because that's just everybody's going to expect that, and I want to be like the Spanish Inquisition. I don't want anybody to expect me.
Yeah.
I too had Mad Mardigan as my my resident swordsman.
You are great.
My cool martial artist, River Tam from Firefly.
Oh, man, I like
Good
that.
pick.
Yeah, she's badass. John Wick.
Oh,
John Constantine, not the Keanu version.
dude, I almost
but
threw
John
Constantine on my list,
Yeah.
too.
Because I gotta have, you have to have some type of sorcerer. This campaign needs a sorcerer, and I figure he's got some cool magic, and if any of us die, he might be able to bring him back.
Oh, totally.
Arthur Morgan, who is the lead character, the lead cowboy in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
My favorite game. He's a great character. He's and for any computer needs, Acid Burn from Hackers.
I didn't think about
Because not to mention, like,
Computer
because
hacker.
she can take care of any tech that we need, but she's also pretty badass. And I think that
She's
Angelina
very
Jolie could
badass.
probably, take down a few
That's
people
a
if
good-
she needed
Man,
to.
she's awesome in that.
Yeah.
Eugene. Oh, wait, that's Lorraine Bracco. Sorry.
So I looked at this as if I was like putting together a team for a heist.
Oh,
I like
nice.
this.
But I didn't take like characters and stuff. I went with like real people.
Oh.
And I did. So I've got Stephen Hawking as my brains guy in the chair because he's literally the guy in the chair.
You got him off the island, huh?
I got Doc Holliday. I got Doc Holliday as my gunslinger / gambler.
Very nice.
George Carlin as the wise guy.
Hey!
Oh, good pick.
Chuck Yeager as the pilot, just in case we need a getaway.
Excellent.
And I'm going to butcher his name, Julius Bjornsson. He's the guy that played the Mountain in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
He's
The Yarp guy, right?
He's the hired muscle.
No, the bigger guy.
The bigger guy.
The Yarp guy's who?
That's his
Hound.
brother.
He's
He's the Hound.
He's the Hound.
And then his brother was the
Mountain.
Mountain.
Son of a bitch.
And to distract everybody, I've got, of course, Raquel Welch as the distraction / sex appeal.
I thought it was going to be Bobcat.
Bob as the
Or Yoko.
Yeah. They just plop her outside. And
No, Bobcat you send out as the decoy. Like Pete Davidson in Suicide Squad, so he purposely gets his head blown off, then you attack.
Oh, I like that Raquel Welch pick.
I do too. Yeah.
Very.
I'm glad you went all white too. I was starting to feel very racist for a minute here as I listened to
Oh,
everybody.
that's hilarious.
I was like,
I didn't even intend to.
I didn't either. I didn't intend to either, but looking back, I'm like, I think I'll take one of the Mountain. I'll probably will put what's her name from The Boys in there because now I feel like shit.
Now I want to replace Stephen Hawking with
Neil deGrasse.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh, he's fun too.
Yeah, he is
He's
fun.
a fun guy. He wears fun
Yeah,
shirts.
He does.
I don't like him.
I almost went with three sorcerers.
You don't like
and I
him?
was like,
No,
me
I don't
too.
care.
Oh.
He's fine.
'Cause I almost went John Constantine, and then I was also Mako from Conan,
wow.
Conan the Barbarian. I was just like Mako, Egg Shen, and John Constantine. I was like, no, that's too many magics. Too many magics.
That's
going
true.
on.
Well, I kept it in reality, but if I were to have a more magical quest and needed a wizard, that's an interesting one. I wonder who I would use.
Gandalf.
I feel like he'd
There's
be
a lot of them out
boring, and
He's always
Merlin.
gone.
like
Dr.
never old
Fate.
man farts.
Yeah, Dr. Fate.
Dr.
Merlin.
Oh,
Dr. Fate. Thank you, guys.
Madam Mim.
Awesome. Madam Mim. Oh God, I hated Madam Mim.
Mal
Oh,
from
yeah,
Descendants.
Yeah. Awesome appetizers, everybody. That was a good
fun
one.
one.
Good suggestion there, sweetie. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. We got to come back to that one again.
Poop out some
sometime.
diamonds every
You
now
do
and
poop
then.
out. You poop out a lot of diamonds.
You squeeze for a while, but then when they come out, they glisten.
Take my time. I do some
Cameron.
I do some crosswords.
That
and
Cameron
then,
Noir Ferris Bueller.
That's what I was thinking too. Pardon my French, but he is so tight.
Siobhan, my legs went numb again.
but we got our appetizer.
Yeah. I need you to wipe my ass again. My hands went numb too.
What else was he doing? Derek multitasks on the toilet. But only with his left.
That's where I do
That's
my
all
best
speculation,
thinking,
folks. I
man.
have
All
no
my best
idea.
stories come from the toilet.
Feel the difference in my forearms.
Barely lift that soda can, but you can crush a Volkswagen in the other. Jesus.
It's really overcompensating.
Wow, that is disgusting.
Wow.
And on that
All
And
note,
right.
on that appetizing thought, shall we go to the main
Yeah.
course?
let's do
The
it.
main course.
The
Bring us in,
main
Mr. Sex
course.
Appeal.
You damn right. Brought to you by Derek's Poop. Here is the main course.
Wow. Good segue,
Thank
by
you.
the way.
I try.
Put that down. Now we. Hey! It's my dinner.
How you get so big that you food of this kind?
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but not far enough for Brian, director Zack Snyder pitched a Star Wars movie to Lucasfilm, describing it as a more mature Star Wars story. Basically something not written by George Ewok, Jar Jar, CGI singing furry thing, Lucas himself. But Star Wars, now owned by Disney, dismissed the idea of an edgy, moody, and frankly more bloody sci-fi epic. Ergo, the House of Mouse gave it a hard pass. And instead we got other new Star Wars movies with flying Princess Leia, astral projection, Luke, girls who can master the Force quicker than it takes to get your renewed license in the mail, and Han Solo somehow having a son that looks like Adam Driver come out of his nutsack. But that didn't stop Zack Snyder, and really, what could? Certainly not Brian. Besides, the visual...
And I've tried.
I know you tried.
And I've tried.
So many letters.
The visual extravagant
Old man
director
yells at clouds.
already riding the wave of the Justice League Snyder Cut was able to overcome yet another bundle of naysayers and odds and get his space epic made. that space epic, Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, which features a heroic girl who not once is set on fire at all. So talk about false advertisement. With startling visuals and intergalactic spectacles, Snyder's non-Star Wars Star Wars was released and, surprise, surprise, had mixed reviews. The majority ruling being wonderful eye candy, but very little nutritional value. So what do we think? Stay tuned and listen before our director's cut comes out and squanders about 4 hours of your time. Gentlemen, opening thoughts. Tito.
Man, this is a tough one. I like Zack Snyder. I like his movies. I like the way they look. They're like, this one sucked. Yeah, it bums me out. There are moments that are like mini music videos that I did like.
Yeah.
Like vignettes where it's like he just doesn't know how to piece it all together. But there are, I really, really like the Snyder Cut. I like 300 a lot. I liked that zombie movie. I liked the prequel Safe movie, Army of Thieves. I thought that was fun.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen that.
He's got the cast. I'm a cast guy. I like actors. I fucking love Charlie Hunnam. I love Jaimon Hansu. And I was like, oh, okay, great. Charlie Hunnam's in a movie. I want to see it. It's he's doing something right. But he didn't do enough right this time. Yeah.
Same with Jaimon Hansu.
Yeah.
The whole thing was to go find General Tullius, and then they finally find him, and he was like, 5 minutes of screen time.
Oh, he's right here. He's just sitting.
He's
in
just
a
sitting there all dirty.
Shit.
He doesn't want to go. I'll give him a bath. Oh, look, he wants to go.
He's getting dry humped by some kind of alien dog cat hybrid situation. Cool. Anybody else?
Yeah, so I don't know how to follow that one. I liked it. I didn't love it. I like Zack Snyder as well. I'm a big fan of the Snyder Cut, and I love Watchmen. I think his version of Watchmen was
I
awesome.
love that fucking movie.
300's really good. I didn't like Army of the Dead, really, but for the most part, I like his movies because I like to look at his films. I even like Sucker Punch because I love to look at that movie. It's just it's a very
This movie I feel like is
to
as close to Sucker Punch as probably.
I agree. This movie is it's great to look at, and it's enough for me to enjoy it, but not enough for me to celebrate it, if that makes sense. Like I didn't finish it and think, oh, that was amazing. I just finished it and said, oh, that was cool, and then just kind of went on to the next thing. I had watched Battle from Beyond the Stars right before this movie because everybody was telling me it's basically that film.
Right.
I've never seen that. And when did that movie come out?
78.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is that movie to it. Even the way the film begins, it opens with a large ship looming over the planet. Like it's almost shot for shot. Just,
right, and it's
just
a farm.
A higher budget effect film.
Well, it's all based on Seven Samurai.
Right.
Yes,
right.
it all is.
Based
That's
on
the thing
Seven
is
Samurai.
none of them are original.
No.
Right. And we'll get into it when we do the categories. There was just a lot of things that bugged me about the film. And unfortunately, that's what pegged it down for me. There were some things that I let go because it's a movie and you're supposed to have fun. But ironically, in terms of fun, there's not a lot of it. And I'm not one of these guys that needs one-liners or jokes every few seconds. In fact, I prefer them not to be that usually, which is why I liked a lot of the DC films because it didn't go the same route as Star Wars or Marvel, and they were just bebop and scatting and all that stuff. But a little bit of just, humor here and there to kind of relate, and I found none of that in there. So it wasn't a tough watch for me. It didn't drag for me like I thought it would. I did enjoy parts of it, and again, it's beautiful to look at. And I'll get more to it when we do the categories. But right now, I'm going to Derek. Derek,
I liked it. I liked it. I like you. I didn't love it, but I didn't dislike it. I knew its roots. I didn't fault Zack Snyder for a lot of people were all over him about being unoriginal because of the whole samurai thing. But I think it's cool to pepper in the things that you're a fan of. Everybody does it. Everybody is inspired by things, and you use that inspiration to create. And
that's true. But you ever notice very quickly when it's a beloved director that does it, they call it an homage.
Right.
And when a director no one likes does it,
it's a ripoff.
They chastise them for it.
Yeah.
The funny thing is,
Tarantino.
for me, I didn't really like the look of it. I didn't
Really?
It
Wow.
didn't feel like a Zack.
Oh, hello. Tell us how you really feel.
Yummy.
Snack size Snyder.
He is pretty short. It didn't really feel like a Zack Snyder movie to
bite-sized
me.
film.
I didn't really like. I know, like in the intro, you had mentioned the slow mo. I don't really remember the slow mo.
Oh, there was slow-mo.
It was
I'm
all
sure there
slow-mo.
was.
That's
There
why.
was slow-mo.
But I just, I mean, I didn't really, for me, it didn't really feel like a Zack Snyder film, and
Huh,
it didn't,
interesting. Wow.
Not that if it had, it wouldn't have bothered me. I might have even enjoyed it more.
Well, because you are a fan as well.
Because
right,
I dig him. I dig him, and I like what he's done. I respect him. I don't care about the things that he overdoes. You know, like Tito said, great cast. I really like the cast. I like ensemble movies, and I think that all these characters, the cast did what they were supposed to do. That dude, I fucking hated the villain, and rightly so. Right,
Yeah.
like Ed Skrein was perfect. Like, because I hated him right off the bat. I was automatically on the side of who I was supposed to be on, rooting for them to get to do whatever they had to do to get their revenge, because these people are awful. And really I didn't try to read too much into it as far as like political statement they're making or simile.
Oh, if there was one, it was totally lost on me.
Right?
No, I don't think they were.
No, and I don't know if there were, but like just
Yeah.
in general, that type of like a regime like that, and just the mindset of invading, and like it made me hate them, and I think that's what it was supposed to do. So, I wasn't enamored by it, but and I don't think it's some amazing cinematic achievement, but it was enjoyable, and I liked it. And
Cool.
it didn't. Another thing that it didn't feel like, it didn't feel long. I know some people probably do think that it dragged. I felt like it went too fast, and we'll get more into it about what I went into this going, oh my god, do I really want to do this tonight?
Yeah, 2 hours and 15 minutes, but it flies.
It did.
Surprisingly.
It did. So
It didn't drag for me.
I disagree.
All right.
All right.
Brian, you're up.
Here we
No,
go.
You're up, pal.
I disagree, and I even put that in my notes. I'm going to start.
All
I'm
it
not
says
gonna,
is "fuck you." Zack Snyder.
I've got 10 pages of
There's
"fuck
not
you"
over and over.
I'm going to say it for 4 hours, so it's going to feel like
No
a Zack Snyder
no Snyder,
film.
make Brian a dull boy. That's all.
all lens flares and
That's it. No Zack, no Snyder make Brian a happy boy.
Brian Torrance.
All right. So at this point, you were saying like it didn't feel like it dragged. It gets to the point where that king that was harboring the Bloodaxes, and then the space Nazis show up and they confront him and they kill him, and I'm like, this has to be near the end. And I paused it to see, and it still had another 40 fucking minutes to go.
Yeah.
I
Why
was
do you
like,
always do that?
Gotta
Stop
be
pausing and
kidding
looking.
me, because I'm curious to see how much longer it's got. But no, like you, I thought it was an amazing cast. I too like Jamon Hounsou. I like Charlie Hunnam. I like Sofia Boutella.
Yeah, me too.
But I especially liked her in The Kingsman.
With the sword.
Yeah.
With the sword.
Yeah, badass.
Yeah, as Sam Jackson's henchman there.
Yeah.
She was perfect in that, but she can't carry a movie. She can't.
but she doesn't really.
None. All right. So you had this great cast that nobody did anything. There was no interaction hardly with anybody. You get the band back together, and what do? Do they have witty banter to try to feel out each other? Do they try to maybe see how they can work together when they finally go up against the bad guy? No, they go to the next guy, and everybody else that they just gathered stands in the background and does fucking nothing. Nobody says a goddamn word.
And that's why I feel like it's rushed. Because it was no.
And that's in my notes too. It's like, why didn't you just put the Snyder cutout first instead of chopping it down to this piece of shit that nobody likes? It's incoherent. I'm getting ahead of myself. I've got so much shit to talk about, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it, and you guys know I'm not a Zack Snyder fan, and this movie certainly didn't win me over again. No.
All right.
I don't know what the movie is that's going to do it. I liked his 300. He came out of the gate swinging with his zombie movie there, Day of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean,
And then he did 300, and I really
you had said this before, and I agree with you on this one. That's a James Gunn movie as much as it is Zack Snyder.
Still, I'm giving Zack Snyder
James Gunn
credit.
wrote that.
He
James
did.
Gunn wrote
He
it.
did.
Oh, shit.
But I'm giving Zack credit because he
No,
directed
you should
it.
as well. Yeah.
He directed it, and it didn't have any of the tropes that he would, hone in 300 and not drop. I think as a director, he's not growing. He keeps falling back on the same fucking tropes. You know, now it's like, oh, it's a Zack Snyder movie. I can expect slow motion every 5 minutes in places it doesn't need to be.
So it's just a style you're not into.
I'm not into his style. I'm not into his storytelling. He can't tell his story. I liked Sucker Punch visually.
Yeah.
I hated the story. It was depressing as fuck.
Yeah.
It was lifeless and depressing.
Might be my favorite episode ever. And we're like not even that far into
But
it.
all right.
I'm
So
loving it.
I
I'm
didn't
loving
like
everything
it.
that's happening
I didn't
right
like it. I think that, yes.
Sucker Punch doesn't make any sense.
No.
The movie doesn't make any
No,
sense.
It doesn't.
It's,
If you're going-
it's just good to look at.
It looks
all right.
great, though.
So George Lucas used Kurosawa to do Star Wars, but he used the Hidden Fortress, and he did it well. You can copy or pay homage to a director without being so heavy-handed that it's, you know, not beat for beat. Like Mark said, it's Battle Beyond the Stars.
It is.
You know, it's this movie, Seven Samurai, has been remade so many times. There are so many better versions of it that I would much rather watch any of them than this.
And you gotta forgive me because I am
all I
going
have
to
to
be
say about
comparing and contrasting the two movies throughout this episode a couple of times.
That's fine. I'll have to see it.
Yeah, you have
take
to.
your word for it, but that makes me want to see the movie.
Okay.
Start with
categories.
Get into it.
Oh,
do
did you?
it.
I'm sorry, Brian. Did you have anything else?
No, I said that's all I have to say about
Okay,
that.
cool. For now, we have more. Believe me. All right, so
He had fucking damn.
Tito has brought the categories back, and he added some new ones. He tweaked them a bit. Is that the right word, Tito?
I would
Added
say.
some new
Yeah, I
categories?
tweaked that some. I removed some. Let's try to have a little fun with it.
Cool.
We'll start off with an old favorite though. Our favorite scenes.
Okay.
Again, I think he films these really cool vignettes. This movie reminds me a lot of Sucker Punch in the sense that, like, when they were on their dream sequences, they were really fun to watch and really cool, even though the story made no fucking sense. For those 3 to 5 minutes, I was like totally invested.
Right.
I really like this character, the Nemesis character,
Yeah.
the chick with the fucking
The
pilgrim hat.
Yep.
When she fights
That's okay. What's her name? I'm sorry.
Nemesis.
Nemesis is
Yeah.
her name.
They call her Nemesis. There's no name for her
okay.
though.
Yeah.
And she fights.
She fights Armada, the Spider Lady.
Jenna Malone.
Jenna Malone, who's
That
in
was
like
Jenna
all
Malone?
of his movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
Jenna
shit.
Malone.
I didn't realize that.
She's in like every movie that
Yeah.
he's ever made, which is fun.
Yeah.
I think it's just like a really fun scene. That when it's sword fighting and action like that, I don't mind the slow-mo. I actually think it's cool in certain spots.
Right. When she's like sliding underneath it. and-
Yeah, right. Or
Which
or
she
this-
did twice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she
you
didn't
gotta
use the
slide,
swords the
man.
first
That
time.
fucking-
Well,
And
but
I was
that-
like, wait, why didn't she just cut her with the swords if she's sliding under her? And
But
then
I
she does
think
it
that's
the
because she
second
was
time.
well, and you know, because of who her character is, she didn't want to kill the creature.
Yeah,
Her
like,
name
yeah,
is Nemesis.
Nemesis.
Yeah. No, her goal,
She's named after one of the worst Star Trek movies ever.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, her
Yeah,
goal is to
it is.
save the girl, not necessarily kill the
Right.
the
Right.
woman because
Right.
she's trying to.
But
relate.
she
because
tried.
she has lost her
She tried
children.
profusely
Yeah,
to
own
talk her
children.
down and to kind of not have to do.
And that whole scene seemed rushed. It's like
Well-
they meet her, and then all of a sudden they all go downstairs, and now they're just watching while she fights this thing alone.
So
And next thing you know, she's joined the crew.
Right,
and
exactly.
that's the problem. One of the
Yeah.
problems I
Yeah.
had.
I have
Yeah.
issues with that stuff too.
Yeah.
But as a scene, I think it's a really fun scene. I
Exactly.
like it. It's got probably the most heart of any scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Because there's like a real connection that she's trying to have with this other character. I think she's acting it really well. I think Jenna Malone is doing this really cool character. The other two scenes are scenes where I actually think like he hit the nail on the head and he did a really nice job. Is Jimmy the Robot by the lake when he's talking to the girl and he gets the flower
Right.
crown, and Charlie Hunnam and Cora when they're having the scene on the spaceship before he fucks them over.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they're having,
the
like-
only time that she smiles in the movie.
Right. They're
Yeah, he
having
makes
like
her
a
smile.
one scene kind of fun, you know,
Like that's the type of banter
connection.
that they should have all
yeah,
been
right.
having.
Right,
There should have been
exactly.
more of that, but there
Right.
wasn't. But I think those
Absolutely.
scenes have the most heart in the film, and I like those the best.
I knew he was a bad guy right off.
Me
the
too.
bat.
Oh yeah, of course.
I did because
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm going to sound like a dick. I'm sorry, but it was the only white guy in the crew, and I was like, "Oh, he's a bad guy."
Yeah.
Because all the bad guys
The
are white.
farmer
in
was
this
a white
movie.
guy.
Who? Which one?
The farmer.
The farmer was
the
a
one
white
that
guy. You're
ruins
right. But he
everything.
didn't do
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
I mean, he got the guy
until the
killed.
end. Until the end.
He got
Discount Bradley Cooper?
What's the guy
Is
who
that
played
it? Yeah.
Ant-Man? Not Ant-Man. Who the guy from Ant-Man? Nick Storm.
Oh, Yellow Jacket.
Yeah,
In
Yellow
the beginning,
Jacket.
he's the the main
he's-
farmer,
yeah.
the guy, the
Yeah.
leader
Well,
of
the main
tribe.
He got him
farmer.
killed. He did
no,
something.
he didn't get.
Right, exactly.
No. We're gonna get into that. He didn't get him killed. You
Funny
wait.
piece of trivia.
You wait. Go ahead.
The Bradley Cooper wannabe and Ed Skrein. They both played. They both played the same character on Game of Thrones.
Right. Yeah, he was replaced in the second season.
Dahario.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Naharis.
Yes,
right?
Dario Naharis.
That's funny.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's right. The farmers,
He was the
farmers
faceless man, right?
were white and good. I retract my earlier statement. I apologize.
Oh no, you just said there was only one white guy who was the bad guy.
That's right.
There was another white guy.
There was another white
was a
guy.
good guy.
He just didn't do a lot, but until the end. And he wasn't the one.
Well, and what was Turok or Tarok? But I call him Turok the whole
Me too,
time.
because that's what he looked like.
I didn't like him.
No,
I don't know
neither
what
did
he
I.
is.
I don't like any of them.
You got a favorite scene?
What in the buckbeak scene?
So
Oh, the Bucky, yeah. Bucky, yeah.
I'm with.
You got to bow to them first. That's
what he
key.
did.
That's
He
the
did.
key. Yeah.
That's what Harry Potter did too. That's where he learned it from.
that whole thing cut to.
That was the other-
You got a favorite scene, Mike?
I do. It's the same
like
one
some
Tito
things?
had. I guess her name was Nemesis. See, I thought she was the most interesting character, and I still didn't remember her name. The Sword Lady and the Spider Woman. That's what I got. That piece that I thought was also rushed and could have gone a lot longer, rather than what's his face riding the hypocrite ripoff.
That was
thing.
a longer scene and it sucked. But,
Went
yeah, by
nowhere.
comparison. Yeah.
This right here is what I mean when it comes to creating fantastic creatures, ascending or descending into frames. Zack Snyder does it very well, and he gave a great introduction to this Spider Lady, and then there was none of it after. Like it was a quick scene. You got Nemesis, who's great with her swords and
Which aren't lightsabers.
doesn't use them once.
No.
Doesn't really use them. Doesn't really display that. But I thought her look was great. I thought she was great. I love the reason for her trying not to kill. I can't remember. I call her Spider Woman. Armada. And unfortunately, she can't reason with it. That was in it of itself a great little vignette. What you called it, a vignette. I really liked that a lot, and I kind of wish we had more of that.
Yeah, I think he shoots these, and Snyder Cut's very similar. Like some of my favorite scenes are these really small, like the Flash saving
The babies.
Ellis. No, fuck that movie. The when he saves Iris from the car crash.
Oh, yeah.
I think that is like an amazing 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's just really good at these like short, really interesting pieces, but
You see that in Watchmen.
stringing it all together.
specifically, too.
Yeah, right.
When
Did
the
he
original
get his-
Night Owl is getting the crap kicked out of him, and he's flashing to all the villains that he had to fight, and it's done in slow motion.
Yeah.
I love
The
that
opening
scene.
of that movie, though.
Oh, the
the
opening
first like
is
4
incredible.
minutes of that movie are
Did he get his
phenomenal.
start in music videos?
That's
He
what
may
I was
have.
wondering,
He
too.
may have.
And that's
Because I think he's better suited to music videos.
Right.
Short
that
form
short
instead of long
form.
form.
I think if you give him a better writer, he could do wonders. I'm
Unfortunately,
not
he
ready
likes to write his
dismiss
own
him.
shit.
Yeah, I think give him a writer, and he could do more.
Yeah.
But that was my favorite scene, and that was my favorite character. Everybody else kind of bled into one another. If I closed my eyes, I couldn't tell you who's who, as opposed to something like Battle from Beyond the Stars, where I could tell, if I closed my eyes, I could tell who each and every character was, because the film took time, even if it was only like a 5-minute window, gave you a little bit of what made this character special.
Right.
And I didn't feel we got that, at least to me. We didn't get that with Rebel Moon. We got, well, here's a badass-looking guy, here's a badass-looking woman, here's a badass-looking guy, here they are, fight. But there's no time to really explore what they're doing, what makes them what they are.
Right.
It's just time to go to work.
Why do they hate the Empire?
You know,
Why,
I know what's-his-face can ride the winged hippogriff. I don't even know what to call
Griffin?
him.
Yeah.
The Griffin.
A
The
griffin.
Griffin.
The hippogriff
That's
or
all,
whatever.
and that went nowhere. That served no purpose after.
They didn't even bring it with them.
Nope.
They didn't. It's like, why'd you waste time doing that? That could have been 20 minutes. You could have established some of these people getting to talk and know one another. You know? I get
Well, that
it.
shit plays out in the background.
Right.
You know, do it for comedy's sake, even. You know, have the team in the foreground getting to know each other, like, you know, playing with guns and knives.
Sure.
Oh, what are you bringing to the table?
Sure.
And in the background, you see this guy, like, hanging off the hippogriff's tail in the air, like,
Exactly.
"Ah!" as he flies in the background.
Right.
You know?
There's always Gone in 60 Seconds is another great example. Every character is introduced in this similar way, and there's a moment where you realize, Chi McBride is yelling at the lady. He's a driving instructor. He's a hothead. He's the funny one.
Right.
Vinnie Jones works at a morgue and eats a sandwich on top of a dead body before getting the call. He doesn't speak. He's the tough one. With this, I just felt like everybody showed up. They had magnificent-looking abs, and that was it.
And you introduced all of those characters so much quicker, but it was more effective.
You got it.
Whereas these, you had these whole scenes. It almost like if he had done it more similar to like it treated it like that ensemble, like Army of the Dead. Like you had this same thing, big ensemble group of like different characters, but it was a lot of flashbacks of and kind of like we picked this guy up over on Tatooine, like
Exactly.
and,
Right.
You know, then show it.
So if something happens, say like it does to Ray Fisher, spoiler alert,
Who I totally didn't realize it was him.
Bloodaxe.
you don't feel anything. I didn't feel anything. I was like, oh, he died.
Oh,
Too
yeah,
bad.
exactly. I never got a chance to know the guy. Who cares?
Who is he? What does he do?
Yeah, nothing.
He's got blue on his face, and he's got a sister. They're the Osmond twins of the tough people. What can I tell you?
Well, big deal. So did everybody else on that platform.
Well,
Exactly.
and to be
That's
like,
right. Yeah,
you know, and I didn't know them either.
Before they finally got to them, I thought that Cora was the sister that they kept talking about. Because they kept talking about someone on the run, and you could tell she's on the run.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been
So
cool.
it's like, I thought that she was the sister.
You should have written this, Derek.
I probably should have. I probably.
Well, that was my spiel. Sorry, Derek. Go ahead.
Like you guys, I loved the Nemesis Hamada scene. I thought that was really cool. And definitely like the most heart in the movie. Like, you know, how she is and how she reacts after it's over, and, you know, don't celebrate this. I'll get to that because it's my quotes. But I love the first time you see Cora show who she really is, who and what she is.
Oh, when she fights the guys.
Like the whole scene with them trying to do what they want to do with that girl, but she just like you see the hatchet on the ground, and you know, like, all right, she's gonna do something with that, and she just is total badass. Like I didn't really expect her to be that much of a badass.
Yeah.
I loved the finale with Kai turning on them, which I saw coming, but like everything from that moment when he turns till Gunner setting the team free, and like you know, from which those things were really cool. The bounty hunter, like.
Oh, yeah, we put the gun in the back,
right?
And you can sever their spine.
But
Or
if you
whatever.
turn it the other way, it frees them. Who designed this thing?
You know. But I did. I
The
like
same
that.
people who did the Death Star and left the
I
little
guess.
opening for an X-wing.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Blame Mads
Wombats.
Mikkelsen.
I'm gonna.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna, man.
But, yeah, those are mine. Do you like anything?
there a scene
Favorite
that you
scenes?
like?
I actually have none written down. But honestly,
I can corroborate that.
No. Tita was looking over my shoulder. I really did struggle with this because I wanted to pick the spider scene. But even that felt lifeless to me. I thought even the fight scene was uninspired. And like her speech at the end fell flat. Like you put it as a quote. I wanted to choose that as a quote, but I couldn't. I didn't like it. I have nothing from my quotes either. Favorite quots? None.
Well, don't spoil the ending, man.
No, I'm just going to say.
There's no ending.
That's what it felt like. This movie still has another
There's
40
other
minutes.
stuff in there though. There's stuff on the page.
All right, I can't-
No, I do
get-
have stuff. I do
He's
have
got
stuff. Just not under these categories.
What doesn't work for me?
Oh, Jesus.
I'll keep mine brief.
Yeah, we'll do Brian last.
I am
Well,
last.
he
I
is
mean,
last,
we got
by
the
way.
story all over the place. I put Snyder can't decide who he wants to steal from: Star Wars, Pitch Black, Chronicles of Riddick, Endgame, Dune, Indiana Jones, or Harry Potter,
Or all the above.
or all the above. What doesn't work for me, and you said this earlier, that you have to just go with it. Oh yeah, well, I'm just going. I don't know why.
Just going with it doesn't work for you.
doesn't work
Okay.
for me. Like
Yeah.
every once in, I like to just go with it. Every once in a while, I like you to fucking tell me what the hell's going on.
Gotcha.
And everyone just standing around in the background while that person gets their opportunity to shine. I don't mind that, but it can be a battle scene where the fucking
Maybe somebody's
Griffith
struggling
guy
and somebody else
does
steps
the
in.
thing that he's really good at.
Yeah.
In the middle of everybody doing something. If they're all fighting the Spider-Woman and Nemesis comes out and steps in to help, other than just like Gunner trying to save the kid, and everybody else is just like watching, like, oh, this is kind of
so
cool.
that's basically the first half of this movie. A lot of people
That's like all the
standing
movie.
around watching
Yeah.
people do
It's a-
this.
it's a large
getting the
majority of
band
the
back
film.
together could have been a montage in any other movie, but to Zack Snyder, this is the movie.
This is the movie.
Well, okay, so if this was going to be part one, though, of getting the band together, okay, I would have been behind that, except if it
not done
make
well.
it about the band.
Yeah.
Because if part one was, and somebody had said that this had said this to me. They said, well, it was the movie about getting everybody together. And I said, that's fine, but by the end of this movie, we had
nothing.
no idea, or at least I'm not saying other people might have. I had really no idea who was who. I knew what they looked like, and I knew of maybe one or two things they could do. But I still feel like, again, other than when I close my eyes, other than who's a woman and who's a man, I couldn't even identify who was who. I couldn't tell you who was who. That's just me. Sorry.
What doesn't work for you?
What doesn't work for me? Here we go. Speaking of standing around and doing nothing, and I had texted this to you guys last night, and Derek was like, oh, I was fine with it. And I tried to be fine with it, but I couldn't. And you had said this, the reluctant hero Korra.
Yeah.
That does not work.
to start the movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the bad guys show up in an obviously menacing-looking ship. You got a handful of people coming in. They're all clearly evil. Korra, we find in the film, has a history with these people.
Space Nazis.
We don't know it at the time.
Well, she is the first one to run and ring the bell.
Yeah.
She rings the bell knowing what's coming, sure. But then, as they come in and start interrogating the farmer, very similar to Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Bastards.
I have that in my notes.
You realize right off the bat, and anybody with half a brain would realize, these people are here to start shit. I don't care who you are. And the fact that after it is revealed that Korra is this badass, specially trained super soldier, the fact that she just sits there and idly lets these people interrogate and strike fear into the farmer and his wife, Yellow Jacket and whatever, and does nothing. At that time, I'm like,
She lurks
before
in the
knowing
background.
everything, I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to die. That sucks. But then, immediately following, she sees the girl getting manhandled by the crew cut army. Then she goes into action, which is a cool, badass scene. I do agree with Derek, the way it looks and the way the fighting looks. Awesome. But that pissed me off because I was like, wait a minute. If she can do this, why couldn't she have done this to the handful of people in the farm? Why couldn't
the
she
four
stop?
other ships in the sky that would have destroyed everybody?
Yeah, but see, if
the
she
end of the
knew,
movie. I mean, that's the end of the movie.
If she knew they were coming, if she knew the ship was
she
coming,
knew it was coming because they all saw it, and she knew what the ship
couldn't-
was, though.
But she didn't do anything about it.
She does. She tells the guy they want everything,
Right.
but give them nothing.
My other quote.
Okay,
And then-
fine. Want everything, give
and
them
then the-
nothing.
the-
but she
the other white
still
guy-
stands around.
Who did nothing,
Yeah,
Right?
He's not blameless.
Tries to give it all
I mean,
away.
He's not blameless.
and then gets
Right.
the other dude killed.
yeah, I'm sorry. She
The whole
should have
thing
made
they
an
make
effort.
you.
So
No,
I
she's gonna
understand
make
what you're
an effort
saying, but that
because,
actually that
we're gonna get
it
we're
makes
gonna
a
get
little
to
sense
this.
to
So
me,
we're
that
gonna
part.
get. Well, somebody else had said to me, "Well, there's an army outside." Maybe she didn't say anything because there was a whole army outside, and they would have come and killed everybody.
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, maybe," but then I'm gonna come back to that when we get to the quote. Okay, and. That comes later, but that was the one thing that didn't work for me.
doesn't work for you.
The tiredness of the reluctant. If she wasn't a trained soldier already, if this was like a Luke Skywalker hero's journey kind of thing, and she had to grow into the, totally fine. But the fact that she was able to be this super soldier trained from, I feel like she should have at least attempted to do something, or at least more.
What's super confusing about this movie is that this empire, even before the king dies, seems to be pretty shitty.
Right.
So she never was a good guy.
Right.
Even up until the point where she steps in, she's never been a good guy. She just worked for them and protected the princess. Technically, she's been the bad guy the whole time.
But for the fact that
Up
they
until
have
that point
kind of
where she's
taken
like,
her
I
in
should
and she's
probably-
kind of formed a bond.
She wants to bail on him.
Right.
As soon as she's
That's
like,
the
"Oh,
thing.
we're fucked.
Yeah.
I'm out of here."
She wants to leave.
It's the old man who's like, "Well, I fucking saved
Right.
you, man. You should probably help out.
Yeah. Stick
So,
around.
Jay, we
I
were
would like to
talking
see more
about
of
this
that
at Rubber
guy.
Chicken Comics, and Jay said what I would have liked to have seen is, Cora taken in by the farmers, learning to farm and training them in a sense to be ready because
what I
they
thought.
know this is an existing threat.
Well,
that
That's what
could
she said
happen.
she was going to do
I
with
got
General Titus.
Right,
Jamon
right.
Houndson's character. I want to get him. He can lead an army that can fend off these guys and train us how to fight.
Right.
And then she shows that she can fight them. Like, then why aren't you training them?
Yeah.
That's why
aren't
are you even leaving then?
Are
If you can do this?
Are you an anti-hero in that sense? Fine, but the way the film
Well, we all
portrays
saw what
you,
Luke
you
Skywalker
portray
did
it-
with the
If you're going to copy
Well,
something,
yeah.
the Jedi. So
if you're going to copy
And
something, copy
Obi-Wan.
that Mandalorian episode that they did, where the Mandalorian and Cara Dune have to train the
that's
villagers.
a fucking awesome episode.
Right?
Yeah, good episode.
Against the Empire.
Yeah,
Or friggin' Ash from Army of Darkness.
Well, I mean,
Right, exactly.
We
Right.
know
From
the Army of the
Darkness.
End.
Well,
The
but
Book
we're
of
gonna
the
get
Dead is
that.
coming.
Like now,
Yes.
like at the end of the movie, they return back there, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to
Too
prepare.
little, too late. The American Gothic leaders are dead. Farmer Joe and his wife are slaughtered.
the two of them.
Oh, they
Bling,
were
bling, bling,
good. They
bling,
were.
bling.
Yeah.
Well, and I like when it opens, I was under the impression like this is like it's a moon, so this is like the only establishment on the moon, but it's not. Like there's
Forest Moon.
like there's other like he was doing the trading with the other
They kept
people
mentioning a
and-
town called Providence.
right. So
They
like
actually go there at some
Which
point.
is
Right.
where the cantina was.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
gay bar. Well, it was.
Well, it wasn't a gay bar. It just had a gay alien. We didn't know all.
There was a few gay aliens. Did you see some of the people in the background?
I did.
all their
Yes.
tentacles were.
Oh,
Oh, I thought that was cool.
So I did have one other,
Derek.
but then
testicles. ST.
I did have one other, and it was originally going to be these bad guys can travel through portals and beam people through water.
Oh, the blue
bubbles.
vaginas in space?
Yeah, the blue vaginas. They can beam people through water to another plane, but they can't figure out how to put a
astral
garden on
plane.
their ship.
Right.
But then
Yeah.
Jay,
Well, that's-
again, Jay
'cause
at
they
Rubber
really
Chicken.
don't need it.
So Jay at Rubber Chicken said, "Well, it's not that they can't. They just I got the impression that they just feel they didn't have to because
Right,
they
they're
could bully
entitled.
other
Yeah.
people." And I said,
Right.
"All right, I'll let that one
Yeah,
slide."
that's what I got too.
I did let that one.
I'll
slide.
agree with Jay with that.
I will. I agree with him.
Like the
100%.
grasshoppers in Bug's Life
Exactly.
could have harvested
That's
their own.
exactly.
I have that in my notes. It's
But
like
I'm not budging on the Cora not
All
helping the
right,
farmers
all right.
thing. I'll meet everybody halfway on the other one. Go ahead.
All right. So the biggest thing that didn't really work for me is just how quick each member was recruited. Turok and what was it? Tarok, not Turok. right?
Tarak or something
well,
like
Yeah,
that.
Tara. It's like
Yeah.
Call him
T-A-R-A-K.
T-Rex.
Turok and Nemesis both had pretty cool scenes introducing them. Like the Hippogriff one was kind of stupid, but it was more involved, and there was like
I don't think it's part horse though. I think it's just a griffin.
It's just a griffin
just a
because it
griffin?
looked
Yeah.
like a hippogriff.
It would
How
have
do you
to.
say
It would have like horse.
Hippogriff.
It would have like horse.
Hippogriff.
Its,
Yeah.
its hind
Not
legs
a
would be
hippogriff.
horse's legs.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and it
If
was
it was
just
a
claws.
hippogriff.
All right.
All right. Well, whatever.
Well,
whatever, Russ, whatever.
Sarah's the biggest Harry Potter fan, and she even said this looks like a hippogriff. So,
Yeah,
you know.
that's
So
what I
it's
called
Pretty
it.
close.
Like
It's pretty
so
close.
they had pretty cool scenes, but then the next shot they're on the ship with the crew. There's no like, especially Nemesis. Like she kills the thing, she says her thing, and then next thing you know, she's on the ship. Like she's joined them already, but there wasn't really any. There was never any dialogue or conversation about trying to get her to join. There was like, I don't remember them talking about. And I feel like there should have been a lot more dialogue, like you guys said with the banter. In between, there should have been more. These people all interacting with each other. Like each as each person comes in, what's the chemistry like?
Yeah.
Conversation
No,
between
explore
Nemesis
that.
and Tara.
They did a tracking
Conversation
shot.
between Cora and Nemesis.
Right.
Conversation between Kai and Tarok and Nemesis.
Right,
Right, but there
Something-
wasn't. They only had
nothing's
that
going
one
on.
scene of Cora and Kai talking on the bridge.
Right.
Yeah.
And just before that, they do this tracking shot of her going through Kai's ship,
Yep.
going up the stairs towards the bridge, and who's sitting there moping in the corner is General Tullius, doing nothing but
Right.
twiddling his goddamn thumbs on a bench.
Right.
I'm like, seriously,
Right,
she
and
walked
that's
right by him, didn't say a goddamn word to
And
him.
the thing is, once
and he's
they-
not talking to anybody.
Once the two of them had their scenes, like the other recruits were all really quick. Like there wasn't even a real scene.
Oh, like Bloodaxe is just like, hey, can you come? And you're
Right,
like, oh,
right.
Yeah.
okay.
Standing in front of
Yeah.
that crew, they say, "Okay, who's going to come with us? Because we're going to
Yeah.
do this."
Right.
Like, all right.
And again,
All right,
if we're
and
making part one about getting the band together, there's more than enough time to do this and make it its own.
I will. I'll say this now. I was going to save it for later, but
I don't know.
I agree. I think that this should have been a 3-part. like if you're gonna rip off, make your own version of Star Wars, then make your own version of Star Wars.
Oh, 3 parts.
Go
yeah.
all in.
Yeah.
Do 3 parts. The first one should have been all recruiting. It should have been all like that's what Star Wars: A New Hope was. It was all these different characters.
Yep.
Like going to find who you needed, and them interacting.
They very much did.
And they built all the character dynamics between these characters throughout that whole movie.
And by the end, by the time you got to
people-
the Death Star scene of the fight, you cared about each and every one of them.
Right. And
This one, I honestly, I saw this movie 3 times, and on the 3rd time, it only started to click who was who as far as names. The first time I watched it, I had, like Mark, I had no idea. It was immediately forgettable.
Yeah.
Had no idea who these people were. I did not care one thing about them.
I just think that if you had done, it's not as action packed a movie like that because you're character building, but get the character building out of the way so that you're invested for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
The second one could have been them going and finding fucking
Nemo.
Noble.
Oh, Noble.
Nemo, Noble.
Right.
character.
Fine and Noble, and
Discount Cillian Murphy.
because really he's on to the next. Like he didn't know that these people were coming after him.
No.
He didn't know what had actually happened because no one had been reported it. He left this team back at that farm to be with them for the next 9 months.
Yeah.
We could have spent a month for the 9 months. Have them all getting ready, and then instead of going and chasing this guy, fucking go back to the farm, do your training.
He's coming back.
Right. Because you still have plenty of story left to tell for 2 more movies. The second movie could have been the rebellion and fighting Noble.
I think if Charlie Hunnam's going to make the heel turn, it makes more sense, I think, for story.
Yeah.
If you're going to get them later on when
Right.
they're back on their planet.
Right.
As opposed to, because he's
But
kind
you
of
know
leading the way. He's like, oh, you want this guy? I know like 4 other guys we could use.
Yeah, he's putting
So
them together.
he's making
Right.
it happen.
Yeah.
But,
okay, now
but
I
that
have
could have
one
been
more
his
thing.
plan all along, and he could have waited. Like, so if they, say they recruit, he does this, he's got it in the back of his mind, he's going to turn these guys in.
Right. Yeah.
They go back to the farm, like maybe they pull back. They're like, oh, geez, these people were more prepared than we thought. Let's come back with like a whole armada and just blow them out. So as they leave, then he kind of turns them over, or then they chase them. That's part of the second movie. All right, they're leaving. They're going to get back up. We got to go. We have to bring the fight to them, and then let them turn.
See, that whole turncoat thing bothered me in general. I liked that
And then
guy.
the third,
he was another one that
was a good
had
character.
had some characterization
Right.
to him.
Me too.
And then he turned bad, and I just scoffed. I
Well, a
felt,
lot of
I
people
felt
died
like
too
that
quick.
was thrown
Yeah,
in.
There's
I
a lot
did
of these characters that had no room to grow, and they
No.
killed them off too quickly.
No, exactly.
So, and that's why, I really do. I think that it should have been a 3-part movie because even
just wait. The director's cut
just
is coming.
I was kind of hoping we were going to get a Lando situation with him. Really.
Well,
Oh, me too.
But it
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
happen
yeah.
that
No.
way.
I was like, well, he's going to turn. If he does, hopefully he's
Well, and the
good,
other
but then
thing
they
is,
kill
like,
him.
No.
like I said, if you're gonna do your own Star Wars, then
You said it.
then follow it. It's different but
Follow through.
same.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're hitting all the right notes, and you keep the pacing. It just and then the other big thing, I just was not a big fan. I know you said you like the look. It looked like almost every scene was on a green screen, but I almost felt like there was almost no actual sets in this movie.
Right.
And I fucking hate that. I hate when you're looking like in Solo when they go to the casino. Almost all of that is digital.
Everything looks like it was done on the roof,
Right.
in the room.
Like you can picture them all on a stage with a green screen. And
Why can't we just film on an actual
Right.
roof?
Oh, hi, Tara.
right.
I saw that too. Like it almost looked like there were like huge paintings, matte paintings
Right.
behind them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
like
noticed
matte
that too.
paintings.
I do too.
Like actual
But
matte
I like
paintings,
matte
so,
paintings.
yeah.
I like matte paintings when they're not obvious that it's a matte painting.
Brian, what doesn't work for you?
Not a thing. Everything's perfect.
No, I loved it. No, it's all been done. This whole movie consisted of scenes that reminded me of scenes from other better movies. Like we were talking about.
Yep.
I'm going to go back to my notes here. Like I have the opening scene, and you mentioned it. I thought it was Inglourious Bastards meets A Bug's Life. Chopper wants all the grain for him, and he'll return for it in 9 months. And you'd better have my grain. Right. And then they all go off, and they try to find, the circus bugs, Great warriors. That's the movie in a nutshell. And the rest of the movie was just beat for beat, I'm like, oh my god, it's this. Oh my god, it's that. Like the hippogriff scene. I'm like, that's out of Harry Potter.
It's Harry Potter.
It's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
The spider scene. I mean, we've seen spider ladies before done before. You know, I'm not going to say it was done better. That was almost my favorite scene, if I could call it a favorite scene, but I couldn't. It just fell flat for me. Yeah, it was just so much that had been done better before.
All right.
That was good, concise.
Good
I appreciate it. Does anything work for me? The cast. I really like Charlie Hunnam. Anthony Hopkins, I'm very excited for what he could potentially do in this movie. I liked him in the intro. I liked his scene with the girl by the lake. I thought that was a nice scene. Jai Manhasu. Ray Fisher, I just liked that he got work, to be quite honest.
I know.
I was like,
Right.
this dude's never going to work again. I was like, oh, they put fucking Ray Fisher in a movie for about 7 seconds.
And then they
And
killed
then the first one to die is the black guy.
I know.
I was like, awesome. Thanks. Oh, Zack Snyder. Oh, okay.
Well, they had a couple of others, so
Yeah.
it was okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I do what works for me are these like little what I call vignettes, fighting the spider. You know what scene I absolutely loved? I didn't think anything about it was interesting, but the look of it when she's standing in the courtyard with the princess in the snow and the dogs running around.
Yeah,
That's a great
I
scene.
was like,
She's
this is,
fixing she brings the bird back to life.
she
Right.
brings the bird back
Yeah.
to life, and
Yeah.
I didn't
Yep.
care so much about that. Like, oh, she has special powers. All I was thinking was like, oh wow, this looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it just these
Yeah.
little.
It's like a scene out of Lady Snowblood.
It
Or
was
Paul.
just
Remember,
very-
Paul brought a bird back, and
Well,
then he ate it.
I know.
No.
And that makes me think, she'll probably bring everybody back.
Sure.
So nobody probably is dead.
You don't want me to
actually.
eat it.
Oh, that's
dead,
going to
do
be a
you?
cop out and a half.
You know
Well, the
what?
daughter is dead, right?
Unless you
Yeah.
could, well,
Unless
who
you could
knows,
bring
right?
yourself
See,
back.
in the beginning,
There's still 12 hours left of this movie.
I thought they were. I thought they were hinting at that girl being in the beginning being.
Oh, Sam.
like a lost princess type
fuck.
thing.
Maybe she's the little girl.
But they,
Don't you
but
think
they
that what's the name
say
would
that
have
she
recognized
died.
her? Yeah,
No, because Zack Snyder
No,
doesn't
looks
know what
change.
he's doing.
Yeah.
that's true.
Wait, which
Because
girl
the
are
king
we talking
became
about?
because the king
lost.
became.
I'm the one here looking for logic. What am I
No,
doing?
I
am I
like the
doing?
idea, but then it's like
Right.
I could very easily see him like not hinting or giving anything away and not realizing till like in 2 weeks he's like, oh man, you know what? I think she's the princess. Let's do it. The only other thing, and this is very small,
The director's cut.
is I really like when the laser beams turn into like lava.
Yeah, what was
I
with
think
that?
that looks so fucking cool.
But it
I
was
don't know why.
inconsistent.
No, yeah, because sometimes it goes through things.
Right, and then sometimes it just splats.
I think if it can't go through it, it just turns into liquid.
Depends
Which I thought was
it
kinda
depends
cool.
what material it's impacting.
Because
Yeah.
it goes through a
Yeah.
guy and then it hits the wall. When it hits the wall, it's like,
That I can go with.
I
That's
thought that was
something I
kinda
can
cool.
go
Oh wait,
with.
are you
I thought it was
talking
kinda
about
cool.
the
laser
guns?
blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guns.
So
I
I got
kinda liked it.
I got the feeling that like stuff that splattered on the wall was him, the back of his head.
No, I don't think
oh,
so.
I thought that
think-
was the
I think-
laser beam.
No.
Yeah,
When it hits something it can't destroy, it just.
right, because it
No,
happened
because
more
I
than
think
once.
Yeah.
she shoots him like point blank in the head, and I think that's the back of his. I think that's
Well, I'll
brain
be
matter
damned.
and shit.
I'm not
Maybe.
going to watch this movie. Don't
Yeah,
even do
Maybe.
it. I might watch it.
I
I think it's the laser.
I put down in my notes that there were a few times where like there was a couple of times where she was going to get shot, and then all of a sudden somebody else shoots somebody in the head.
Yeah.
And that happens 3 times. It happens when Sam is getting attacked.
Yep.
Yep.
And Jimmy the
the
robot,
robot?
shoots the Nazi in the head instead of
That was like
Cora.
poor man's Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
I was
Yes.
like, oh,
exactly.
I totally
That's
thought
what
it,
I
and I
too.
totally thought it was
I
Michael
thought it was
Shannon.
him at first too.
Because I was pretty much looking for
like,
Snyder's
Zod,
Yeah.
all right.
stable
Yes.
of actors.
I know.
Yeah.
And I know he likes him. Like,
Yeah, does he?
They have a good
Zod and
relationship.
Snyder.
Michael
Well, yeah,
Shannon
because Michael,
really
remember
likes.
Yeah.
Michael
Snyder.
Shannon like wanted his seal of approval in order for him to
Oh,
replay
yes, and
Zod
yeah,
in
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Had
Yeah.
nothing to do with the big fat paycheck.
Probably
It was all
not.
loyalty.
But then again,
I don't know, man. That guy,
Just
I don't think
kidding.
that guy
I'm
makes any money.
Michael Shannon.
again in the gay bar cantina.
All the more reason why you should take the
when she's
Flash.
going to get shot by the guy, and then
Charlie Hunnam
Charlie
saves her.
Hunnam
Yeah.
shoots the big guy, and
Yeah.
and then again at the end when she's in the robot torture chamber thing, and he's about to put the thing in her neck,
The farm boy does the same thing.
and instead the farm boy puts the gun and shoots Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah.
It happens like 3 times. I'm like, Zack Snyder's falling on this trope as many times as he's
I
falling
hope
on the-
I hope in the next movie we see more of this guy do stuff too. I can
Gunner?
buy Gunner hanging out in the back for a while, but I now he's felt
I-
power and violence.
To
I hope
me,
he
he's
embraces
always the character that he played in this reminded me more of the character that he played in Haunting of Hill House. he's a wimp. He's like he's scared.
He's her
Man up,
humanity.
Fraidy cat.
I think like he's supposed to be
an
her
old
humanity
yeah.
in some regard, or whatever she has or doesn't have.
Well, her humanity needs to
he's
toughen
trying to
up a
bring it
bit
out
because
of
she's
her.
facing some odds here. She's going to need her humanity.
No, I think she's a stone cold motherfucker. Like she's gonna kill whatever. I think he's
Right.
kind of
Well,
the thing
until
that
it comes
keeps
to
her-
the head bad guy who all he has is a fucking cane, and
Oh, I know.
she has a harder time with this guy.
It's a shillelagh.
I don't care what it is. It's a fucking
it's a-
cane.
Oh yeah,
Shillelagh cane.
It's a
Yeah.
shillelagh cane, nothing.
Yeah.
know.
It's-
Oh, you know-
She took out
it's
20
still a
Arnold
glorified baseball
Schwarzenegger.
bat.
She took out 20 Arnold Schwarzenegger guys in the beginning with just an axe. She's over there like at the end of the movie. Oh,
Yeah.
this is a malnourished little guy with a cane, or he
Yeah.
looks malnourished anyway,
Yeah, I
because I
know.
saw him in that tub, boy. And and she's having the hardest time with
That's
him.
boss level. You always have a hard time with
Yeah.
boss level.
Yeah.
But the boss level has to look like he could be at the boss level.
Well,
this
and
guy
also
did
you
not
end up
for me.
finding out he's like at least partially a machine.
No, I
Yeah.
know,
Or
because
something
we've got
weird.
that scene, which
Yeah.
reminded me of Men in Tights, when the guy comes, the guy comes to give him some news, and he's in the bath. That made me think of Richard Lewis in the bubble bath and Men in Tights. And the guy, what's his name? The sheriff from
Oh, when
Nottingham
he's getting, like, sucked by
comes
the
in
leeches.
and he's like,
Yeah, yeah,
"Sire,
yeah.
I have news.
Yeah.
It's not bad." And he's like, more bubbles." And that's all I kept thinking about when I saw that scene. And what's his face is in the tub with his big
Noble,
like
yeah, with the
dildo looking things, whatever. And he's just like relaxing, and the guy comes in like, "We have news." I'm like, "Holy shit, this is Men in Tights."
Yeah, it was like Living Matrix or whatever.
It was.
I was like, oh, this reminds me of the Matrix. a little bit. Not good.
I didn't like that. Was another thing that didn't work for me. I didn't like that.
Sorry, whoever I interrupted.
No, go ahead. I was done. What does work for you?
Very quickly, I've said it
anything
before.
work for you?
Well, what works for me is and the look of the film. I like the look of the film. I agree with Derek what he says. It's all CGI, but just the art direction for me was just nice to look at. It was good. Good art direction. Very tantalizing stuff. 'Cause, the scene you brought up, Tito, I really like.
There are some good cinematography.
Saturn looming over the planet is always cool, or a Saturn-like planet. I love stuff like that. So
That was
visually,
cool.
the
That
movie
opening-
was awesome. It was an
'Cause
awesome opening.
I like the way that it pans down and you realize,
Yeah.
oh, you're already on you're on the planet.
Yeah. Dude, intergalactic
Oh, yeah.
beauty right there.
Because you almost
Yeah.
expect there like it be like Star Wars, where all of a sudden you're going to see a
pans
spaceship,
out.
but it's like that's in the background of the sky.
And what's the planet of the Baron? Oh God,
The Mother World.
no, and Dune. The Baron's planet. What's it called?
Harkonnen?
Harkonnen. The way it was all industry and machine, I really liked that they focused on that planet. That reminded me of Dune. I really loved how that looked.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
What does work for you?
What,
Does anything work for you?
the villain crew, to be honest, I mean, I like the actors, the regular actors, and that crew, but the villains really make it. They really make you hate them so much, like right from the get go, and they do a really good job of getting the audience invested in Cora's quest. Especially Ed Skrein. I'm torn because like when he should have died. Like that was a big fall. I don't care if he's half machine. Like he should have been done. Like let's bring in the next big bad.
Hit him with the juice.
But at the same time, yeah, I mean, like bringing him back and letting him play some more.
He's a good bad guy. I mean, he's really good in Deadpool
Right.
as a villain. I liked his character
Right.
in that a lot. He plays bad guy very
He's
well.
very
he looks like a
unlikable.
dick.
Yeah, yeah.
He does.
Right.
He's got a
Probably
punchable face.
He's
He
got
does.
a terrible
He does.
fucking
That's a
Nazi
good way to put it.
haircut.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Brian.
Hey.
Does anything work for you?
No.
The end.
None.
No.
Nothing.
Oh, that was quick.
No. I have stuff to back it up.
Okay.
The action was slow and uninspired. The characters were paper-thin archetypes. You had the female swordsman, the disgraced general, the roguish smuggler, the exiled battle-worn hero protector, the exiled prince, the freedom fighter, and none of them had or was given the chance to develop a personality.
See, you just described them better in that moment
Yeah.
Then Mark
than
can
the
remember
whole
them.
movie
Right?
did. I had no idea what to make of any of them.
Yeah.
You just nailed it right there.
That's what happens when you watch it 3 fucking times.
Oh,
You know what?
I didn't,
Why did you
I
watch it
didn't
3?
ask
Because I
you.
kept falling asleep. And I did. I watched it once, and I kind of dozed here and there watching it, but I got the gist of the whole movie, but it didn't stick with me. So when I knew we were going to be talking about it, I tried to watch it on Monday night, and I fell asleep like after the first third of it.
Technically, I watched it 3 times too then.
And then I watched it again this afternoon to refresh my memory.
I
Yeah.
fell asleep the second time also.
But what I was going to say was Netflix is going to think I'm the biggest fucking Zack Snyder fan
Oh,
there is because I've
crank it
totally
out,
blown
yeah.
my algorithm.
You clearly love Rebel Moon.
Yes.
This guy will not stop watching Rebel
I
Moon.
know they're going to be.
If you like this, you'll like Army
Yeah.
of Thieves and Sucker Punch and
exactly.
300. Watch.
But I touched on this before. So when the team is being put together, there's no witty banter to get to know each other and find out what they're like. Nor is there any attempt for them to learn to work together as a team before taking on.
There's
the
not
bad
any
guys.
banter. Like there's not any
No,
kind
there's
of
nothing.
dialogue. I mean, again, it doesn't all have to be like your classic one-liner jokes spat every
Just
few
talk.
seconds.
no, but if you're gonna fight on the
or
battlefield
at least
next to each other,
get one guy who
You
got
gotta know if you're gonna be able to trust this
right?
guy.
You
They
gotta
have to
trust
have
them.
a reason to care about each other.
Exactly.
They need a reason
Right.
to care
There's
about
no-
each
And
other.
I need a reason to
rapacious
care
wit.
about
To
these
care about
characters,
these
and I
characters.
never got it.
Right.
Yes,
That's true.
That's fair.
No,
Yeah,
that is-
agree 100%, man.
Yep, absolutely. Best quotes, Tito.
So I actually like
Very ominous,
the
Louis.
Spider-Woman's quote of, "I will kill the child, and I will keep killing until every mother weeps, tears of regret for ever having come to the minds of Daggers."
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
I was like,
Yeah.
this bitch is not happy.
No,
She is not. She's killing everybody. I don't know. I really like that character. I'm kind of bummed it died.
Yeah.
Because she's like, you feel the air. It's fucking poison. Like they kill my babies.
I just wanted that to be a movie. It was like an
I
anime
want- yeah,
movie
yeah.
for
You
me.
wanted it to be a movie.
Yeah.
Super pilgrim looking samurai.
She had a
swords
hat-
girl,
she had a hat
fights
like
giants,
Vampire Hunter D.
She totally
Yeah,
did.
right. she did.
Yes.
Yeah, she
she
was
had
very
the
cool.
light up sword. She's
Yep.
fighting a giant
She reminded me
spider.
of who's the blue-faced alien that they brought into Mandalorian that
Cad
everybody was
Bane.
like Cad
Cad
Bane.
Bane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with
Like
the
a
big
Cad
white
Bane.
cowboy hat. Yeah.
But cuter. She was cuter
Much
than
cuter.
Cad Bane.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, hey,
You're
to
on
each
the
his
fence.
own, yeah.
The other line.
He's blue, da-dee-da-dee-da.
You belong at that bar, man.
When Charlie Hunnam says, "You chose a side that never makes it to the history books."
Right.
Cool.
That is a
Right.
cool quote. Wow, I didn't remember any of the quotes.
You got
except-
one?
And I don't even think I got this one right. I'm going to go. Maybe you guys can fix this
We'll
for me.
assume you did.
Kindness is worth sacrifice, or an act of kindness is worth sacrifice. Cora says this.
Okay.
And I can't remember who she said it to, but it stuck with me. But the reason it stuck with me was immediately I went, worth the sacrifice, except when you could have sacrificed yourself to save some of the farmers, and you didn't. But aside from that little, complaint, I like that quote. I just, or whatever the actual quote was. I think I paraphrased it a bit, but that was the only one I could remember. I'm sorry.
That's cool.
We kind of brought both mine up before, but Sindri, who's Yellow Jacket, when he says, "What do you think they want?" and she answers, "Everything." Like, that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
There you go. And Nemesis afterwards, she said, "This is the full quote. Do not celebrate this. There's no honor in this.
Yeah.
This could easily be any of you lying here in the gutter for some forgotten world in the name of revenge." You would do well to remember that.
I see that offers intrigue. The only moment of intrigue with any of these characters is that person. Sorry.
Brian, you got a favorite quote?
Let me see. No,
The end.
I do not.
Okay, next.
Is it too long, too short? What's missing? What don't we need? Mine's real quick. It's too short for a long movie.
Right.
So I actually was like, oh,
If you're
it's
going to go
over
long,
already?
go all in.
It was 2 hours and 15 minutes. Why did it feel
Right.
like nothing happened and it went
that
by
was
so
John
fast?
Holmes's,
It really didn't drag for me. I watched it and I was like, that was quick, but I didn't understand
Right.
what was going on. And the other what's missing is a cohesive story, which we'll probably get in the 12-hour long director's cut.
Probably.
I can't wait to watch it.
I got it. Didn't feel too long, but bloated with a lot of extra padding. What's missing is an element of character within the heroes. We don't need a 20-minute scene with creatures that serve no purpose in the movie. That's. I like what you said. You put it much better than I did. I somehow felt gypped, even though I was watching a long movie. I feel like I wanted to know more about things and never got it, and I'm surprised that I didn't get it. Being how long?
I
this
wonder
film
if
was.
that's like the trick, right? You're like,
It
oh,
is.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to see the next one.
to bring
It
the
is.
next one.
They chopped it down to give you this PG-13 taste of it, and but wait, the R-rated mega version is coming.
titties.
So hopefully
It's
that'll
all
have
in the
all
marketing.
Hopefully that'll have all the stuff that we're complaining about.
I think it will.
in the
Like
hips.
one of the things I read, and this also goes in hand with his the gripe I had about his Army of the Dead. Remember when we reviewed Army of the Dead, and I said there are like robot zombies. Some of them had glowing eyes.
Oh, there's all this
and none of them were
random stuff in the
explained
background.
in the fucking movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing with this one. Why did Nemesis have robot hands? Somebody said that there's a backstory where
Right.
she had her own hands cut off so she could handle these flaming weapons. Give me that explanation in this movie.
Give me
that
That's
whole
a better
story.
backstory than anything
Right.
I
Exactly.
watched in this
Yeah.
2 hour and 15 minutes.
Well, you
I
see
mean,
one of those weapons early, and is she one of those people?
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Whatever they are, druids or
Right.
there's like
Spread
space. There's
probably
too much, man. There's like
I know.
There's like space, fucking mythology.
A lot of robes
Yeah.
and beards and
Yeah.
all kinds of shit.
Well,
what-
and you
you know what I'm
mentioned the
tired of?
creatures for no reason, but
Right.
if you're gonna set it in space and have all these different species, if anything, throw more creatures in.
Right.
Are they
good
al-
point,
yeah,
too.
There didn't
yeah.
seem to be enough
That's a good
Right.
point.
The
alien
one
diversity.
brain
And
sucker
the only
thing.
things I can
Oh,
think
the
of.
brain sucker from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
Does anybody watch this show?
Is that the brain
Yeah.
thing that was on the
You know,
table?
Yeah.
with the
With the things going into his
It's
neck.
got the tentacle going
Right.
in the neck and making him talk. Making him talk. Did I go Italian? there?
Duck
did.
to the side. Yeah.
That duck at the side. That
Blew at a brain.
That's a friggin' Aqua Teen character. There's an Aqua Teen alien that does the
Yeah,
exact same
I was
thing.
calling him the Krang.
Brain too.
I thought that was
Like
kind of
that, the hippogriff, and that's the only two I can think of.
Well, even
Like
the
two fucking actual creatures.
even the Spider Woman. As much
the
as I
Spider
love
Woman,
that
yeah.
scene, and I love it's like, well, that was awesome, but that's it. Like,
Yeah.
I
Well,
want
it's just
more.
weird.
of
Those are
that
the only
one.
three
there's
creatures
an
I can
alien
think of.
planet full of spider people. I
Yeah,
don't
like is she
understand
the
it.
only one? Are there more?
Well, the air was poisoned.
No more
Here
babies.
was
She's
fun.
not making any
Is
babies.
she
I don't know about
she's
the rest
not
of them.
laying any babies at all. Like she doesn't have like
Her eggs-
She's trying to, they
arachnophobia,
won't.
The eggs won't.
sack
Like,
of.
That's why
babies.
she's killing all the other
I
mama's
want
babies.
this movie made. I keep saying it. This is my last time saying it. I want this movie made.
Spider
with
movie
I
made.
want the Spider movie with Nemesis.
You're
In fact,
going to get it. She's actually Madam Web.
See, I'd watch it.
Fun.
That made me care about.
So Sony's making it, Mark. You're
You
not
know
going to
what I'm
care.
tired
never
of?
mind then.
According to Snyder, he's got this whole plan for this universe. He's going to have TV shows. He's going to have comic books. He's going to have all this
like the
media,
Army of the Dead
video
stuff.
games. Yeah,
Yeah.
that we haven't seen yet. And that show came out 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, the what was it? The Army of Thieves was the
Yeah,
only thing
right.
that's happened.
I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I liked
I
Army
haven't
of
seen
So
Thieves.
that one
was
came out
fun.
like
I
6
the
months
cast.
after the original. movie.
Yeah, and then
we've
nothing
seen nothing
after.
since.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, he was making this gem.
And that's the thing is so if he has these big plans to make this big new universe, then you need to make your movie that introduces everybody fucking epic.
Right.
And
Agreed.
they didn't. It's not an epic movie. It's not something that left anybody going, "Wow."
I'm tired of intergalactic travel where you go to the planet where they haven't fucking advanced anything. Like they're still planting seeds.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
You really hate stupid aliens, don't you?
I
You
don't like
them
that
when they're
shit.
not
A
wearing
planet
shoes.
full of people doing nothing. We still plant seeds. You can't fucking travel through space and time. Like, that's us. We're that
So
fucking
you're
planet.
siding
Or
with
if
the
you
mother,
choose not to, give me the
order.
explanation why you've turned your back on technology.
Right.
Are you the space
Give me some
Amish?
of that. Give me some of that. Yeah.
Are you the space Amish?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it corrupted the rest
It
of the
definitely
universe.
feels that way.
We want no
Seriously.
part
Well,
of
and
it.
because he tells Noble how makes them connected
To their god.
and the hard work is worth it, and like that's
They're living in
Yeah.
1657.
Yeah.
Right.
It's insane.
Right.
They've like
Yet
They're doing it
somehow
on
in the
purpose.
future, it's
digressed.
weird.
They've regressed.
Yeah.
Sneakers, no thanks. Steel-toed boots, what are those?
Haircuts.
Something that makes planting seeds easier? No, we'll just keep them in my apron and I'll sprinkle them along the ground. What the fuck? I don't get it.
They've shown that
shit
robots
drives me
exist
nuts.
in this universe. Use some of those.
Yeah, right. There's using
well, the
weird
robots
horse
were
animals.
all the armed, the guard.
Well, that one was, but I mean, there's got to be other robots.
Right.
If they have those.
Maybe it's the only
right?
one.
That's another one of those things. You get the robot in the beginning. You don't know what. All you know is that they just stopped fighting, but you don't know why.
They say when the
They
king
said
died.
why.
Yeah, but why?
They didn't have a
what about
purpose
the
anymore.
king? But
Because
are they programmed to have a purpose?
No,
Because that's an artificial being.
No, that's
that
what it is.
Character is artificial.
Their
It's alive.
programming was to protect the king. When the king was dead, they had no purpose anymore, and they just stopped fighting.
That's more than just a program. Then
Well, that's the thing. Is
If
that
I was
That needs to
designed
be
to
weeded
like,
out more.
they learn,
That
and
needs to be
I think that's what they hint
like
at
he
because
cares
Yeah.
about that
and we'll-
girl, and he kills
And that's
for
why he
her.
was blushing. Remember when she touched
Right,
him?
his
Right.
face
extra
lit up.
something comes alive. Like, hopefully we get some of that.
Right.
But that's like they just threw it at you really quickly, and then he's
well,
got fucking
and we'll get to that.
horns on
'cause
his
that-
head.
I put that
Okay.
in my post
Where are we
credit
at?
scene.
Yeah, what are we doing again? I forget.
Is it too long? What's
We're on
missing?
too long, missing too long,
okay.
too short, missing something, too much something.
Okay.
Go for it. Did you go,
Something
Derek?
borrowed, something blue. I thought you. Oh, okay. You already did.
I'm
Do
done.
you have anything
I'm
else?
done. Yeah.
I've said it a couple times now. Just more actual dialogue, coaxing to get them to join the team
Yeah,
as
some
opposed
coke
to.
would have been a good idea.
Coke.
Yeah.
I like Coke.
No, I just
But
mean
Or
like
maybe less coke.
like there should have been some convincing. Everybody just kind of went along because that's what the script says to do. So I'll
Yeah,
just do
right.
it.
It's in the script.
And I do. I wish it was longer. It was too short. I mean, you expect to go all in, and he is an actor who normally does. Like Justice League, he spent the time in that 4-hour movie developing the fuck out of all those characters. He gave everybody their backstories. Everybody had more of an origin than what was cut down to fit and throw on the big screen. So let him have his long movie. Make a couple long. I don't care how many you make. Make a good film, and we'll see it. I'll gladly watch a 4-hour epic film if it's fucking good. But you didn't give me a movie that is you like threw it together.
Well, he put out like a tweet or something. I was like, well, wait till you see my director's cut.
Yeah.
I was
Right.
like, why?
It's like
dude?
it's
You found somebody who's going to let you do whatever the fuck
right.
you
He's
want.
got carte blanche
whatever you want.
with
Make
Netflix.
the 4-hour
That's what I said
movie
last week.
and then
Do it.
move on to some other project
Sure.
instead of like
Right.
redoing the same.
Why make a
movie?
bad movie just so you can put out a
Right.
better version of it?
Right.
That's why we don't have any whatever Army of the Dead he's doing is on hold because now he's made another movie and now we have to wait for part 2
Right.
and the director's cuts of those films. Like,
Right.
So-
and he wants a second shot.
You can throw all the lipstick you want on her. She's still a little whore.
I think it's Pig.
Pig.
A pig.
Pig.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Horse
Take
do
it
wear
easy.
lipstick, Derek.
Take it easy.
Some vampires.
Well, they have to reapply.
Yeah.
And on that note, Brian.
Yeah, I've got, it's a little over 2 hours long, but it feels like 4 hours to me. It's ponderously slow, and Snyder's insistence on inserting slow-mo into every scene at the expense of story or character development just to pad the film makes it feel a little bit longer.
That's pretty concise. I appreciate it. I
absolutely.
can't wait to do part 2. I can't.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Oh, I can
think we
wait.
should all watch it together, though.
That would be
Oh,
fun.
I'm not gonna lie. We should all
Yeah.
watch it together.
Yeah, that way if any of us starts
I
to
don't
doze off, we
think-
can start
Right,
nudging
right.
each other.
I don't think we have
I can sit
watched
through
a
anything.
Zack Snyder film together yet.
You could
and I
fall
think
asleep
we
in a
need to.
revolving door.
We need to.
We should watch
You
that.
could. You totally could. And I could too. Yeah, we have not watched a Zack Snyder film together, and I think we'll need to with that one.
That could be fun.
Okay.
Keto, next category.
If you remove the music score, does the film hold up? It's Junkie XL. I like the Snyder Cut music. He did the music in the Snyder Cut movie. But yeah, I actually think it's pretty forgettable. There's nothing all that exciting about the music. And if you took that
exactly what
away,
I
it's just it's just worse. So
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
no, it
going to
doesn't hold up.
piggyback on yours. I have the same thing. There was no memorable score or music to help elevate this movie.
yeah,
So I said originally I said probably not, and then however to me the strength of the movies are the visuals, and I feel like the visuals of the film might be boring without some type of score.
Yeah.
The score could be generic, but I feel like it just automatically adds a certain amount of awe to the visuals, the
Yeah.
sets, the scenery, what atmosphere, what have you, whether it's generic or just whatever they found of, that's fine, but it just some sort, even if it's just audio filler, I think it would need it.
yeah.
Okay.
See,
I'm not a fan of his scores, and it's like you guys said, totally not memorable. You make a movie like this, you got to do it either one of two ways. You need to either do it the James Gunn way with like some awesome songs that fit the
Yeah.
scenes and
Yeah.
add to the add to the
I
excitement.
wouldn't have minded that like a contemporary soundtrack to this film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
That would've
Flash
been cool.
Would've
Gordon,
been
that
fun.
shit.
Yeah,
Electric
something that-
guitars.
Because-
Like get Queen to do it.
because things like that,
Yeah, they're not doing anything right now.
it's like endorphins. Like you hear songs like that, and regardless of what's going on the screen, you're automatically going to be like, oh, I like this song.
Endorphins?
Endorphins.
Endorphins.
Like the planet of Endor.
No,
No, not endorphins.
Forest
Like
Moon.
endorphins.
The forest moon of endorphins?
The chemicals in your body that make you
know.
happy.
I'm trying to make a
Those.
joke here.
He's being witty.
I get it.
Echo the dolphins. Yeah.
Yoko?
Because that heightens it. That brings some excitement to whatever you're watching. So if your scenes are dragging, like you throw a good song in there, and it gets you back.
Pump up the volume.
Like wake up.
Yeah.
Or you need to have themes. You need to have a score that has standout themes. Different themes for characters,
just like Williams did.
You had E.T. You know the E.T. theme. You know the Indiana Jones theme.
Back
You know
to
the
the
Jaws
Future.
theme.
Right.
And granted, these are all John Williams, but that's because John Williams was awesome at that. Like he latched onto a character and brought that character to life with the music. And
Did he do Wonder? Is that
coincide.
John Horner, Wonder Woman's theme? Who
James Horner?
James Horner?
Hans Zimmer did.
Hans
Zimmer did.
Okay.
And Hans Zimmer is another one. He is very thematic, and not so much just characters, but you know his, like, he's one of those guys, you know his music when you hear it, and there is definitely a theme.
Yeah.
There's a repeated thing where it gets in your head. That's what I need from a music score.
So the older composers,
not so much for
sorry.
not so much for every film. There's a lot of films that the music's there just so that you're not sitting in silence, and that's fine. It does its purpose.
Filler.
I wouldn't go out and buy the score for certain movies.
Yeah.
But for a movie like this and what you're trying to do and make this world, and like you said, all these different spin-off things that he wants to create for it, you have to create the world, and the world includes, like, you need epic themes.
On the second time watching it, I was like, let me listen for music, and I was like,
I was going to say very quickly, the great composers could not only give themes to characters but specific scenes.
Right.
He
Yeah.
brought Indy up when
Right,
there's
chase-
a theme where Indy
chase
does the chase
themes,
scene.
or-
Alvin Silvestri with the Back to the Future theme. You know the theme, but you also know what happens when Crispin Glover punches Biff for the first time.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
there's every moment, every significant moment of every film has a score, and that is severely lacking
Right.
now. I wanted to throw that in there. Sorry.
No, 100%. So,
I've already said
He
mine.
already said yes.
he doesn't like it.
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He doesn't like anything about this movie.
It's basically beef a beat with Tito.
How does it stack up? Other Zack Snyder films? Bottom of the barrel?
It's the low end on all of them. Space movies, Seven Samurai movies,
It's exactly
Zack
what I've
Snyder
got.
movies.
Yeah, I would have to say it's probably, what do I have here? Oh, I actually have medium for me, because I would just have these movies in the background while working. I wouldn't have them
But
on
you do
again
that with a
for
lot of
atmosphere,
stuff.
and I do that with a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Yeah.
Would I go out of my way to sit and watch it again? Not anytime soon. But there are times of the year when I'm on a big sci-fi kick, and if I have something on, I probably would put I would put this on
Throw it
again
on.
just to have.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of bottom of the.
Yeah.
I actually
seen
feel
a
like
lot
this
worse.
one of those movies that's like just junk. But I like
Junk.
like enough scenes, and it feels like it flies for me.
Right.
That I could potentially be like, fuck it, let's throw Rebel Moon on. I've seen it. I had trouble watching new shit, so I was like, I've seen this. We'll put it on.
I jumped ahead
It's
of you. Sorry,
midnight.
Tito.
No.
Did I?
No. I
I
went.
did.
Yeah, he
I
went.
did go.
We went together. We
Yeah.
both.
Oh, okay.
Well, that was on the
We're
other
not
one.
fans.
That was on
agree
the other
with-
one, but
I agree with
Oh,
Derek.
the stack.
and-
How's it stack up?
Yeah, we're on how does it stack up.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, for Snyder movies I've got, they're all pretty much trash. For space opera movies, this is bottom of the heap. For Seven Samurai remakes, there's so much many that are better, so this is bottom of the heap. So.
okay.
Sad.
I didn't even do this one. If this movie had a post-credit scene, I thought about
Oh,
it.
is there a better ending? That's what. I
No,
have next.
the post-credit scene.
Oh, I missed that one.
There, I do have. I didn't have.
I didn't have.
I don't
anything
know
for
if there's anything better than that shit.
Well,
that
they
put
had
at the end of it.
post-credits.
Yeah, there was a few.
The other
brought the
three
guy back
endings.
to life,
It was
Yeah.
like, it was like when I
Yeah.
thought the movie was going to end,
Yeah.
it kept like.
Welcome to
it had
Zack
2 or
Snyder's
3
Hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The post-credit scene, I guess, would have been when the guy
I,
gets beamed up through water,
yeah.
and
I think
there's
maybe I
what's
would
his-
have
Yeah.
liked if Jimmy the robot was doing something other than standing there with the fucking antlers on his head.
Yeah, and a spear in his hand.
I don't know, like petting a deer or something.
We're eating a deer.
Yeah, that's how
Or
we got
just
the antlers.
being kind of like
When you go.
The cannibal
I don't know,
robots.
like being being in the world or whatever. I don't know, watching fucking kids play with sticks or something. I don't know. Just him popping out of nowhere. It was like, bad robot. And then fucking with antlers
standing in the field.
Yes.
It was just like, what the fuck is this?
Awesome.
J.J. Abrams involved. There you go.
Hey, why not? He had all the lens flares whenever her ship went by.
But yeah,
Mark.
Yeah, I don't have one either. I missed that. I'm sorry.
I too would have had to be a Jerry scene. I would have alluded to the droid.
Jimmy.
Jimmy, sorry.
Yeah, the Jerrys were the Nazis.
All right.
oh, yeah.
What's the name of the guy that rides the fake Griffin or whatever?
Tarek.
Turok.
It's Turok.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I honestly thought it was Derek through halfway through the movie.
Derek, the Prince Derek?
That's what I thought.
That's him.
With his abs of
Sam
steel.
and I are watching it. She's like,
My
is
long
this name
locks.
Derek? I'm like, Derek. Because it's always weird to me when in sci-fi epic movies people have normal names
Yeah.
like Derek or Jimmy. I'm
Yeah.
like, I feel like that
Jimmy the
doesn't
robot.
work.
Yeah.
Ben.
Yeah, Luke, Ben. I guess that's the exception. But like Benjamin though, they don't call him Benjamin Kenobi. You know, like that.
No, he's Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old Ben.
Old
Ben.
Yeah. Luke is a real name for sure, but I don't know.
I don't know. Chewbacca.
I mean,
Chewbacca
Vader's name wasn't
Stevenson?
Steve. It wasn't Steve Vader, you know?
Chewbacca
Yeah.
Johnson?
There wasn't Hal Palpatine, you know what I mean?
Chewbacca Johnson.
Yoda Abrams? Yeah, he was fucking, yeah.
Yoda best.
Yoda best. Yeah.
Hey,
Brother
Lando.
Pete Best.
You got cool names like Lando. It wasn't like...
Lando Calrissian.
Yeah,
Lando
it would've
Lakes.
been-
Cool-
it just
cool
would have been
ass
funny.
name.
It was like, oh, Jay's not a system. He's a man. Jay Calrissian. Jason Calrissian. I don't know. Sorry.
It's all right.
That was
My post-credit scene would have been the crew meeting up for shawarma. No,
That might have been fun.
no, I would have been a Jimmy scene. I would have alluded to the droid guards at Velt, which is the farm, regaining their own consciousness thanks to him. Like,
Oh, that's cool.
so
No,
like,
that'd be cool if
Like
he's gonna
he's
lead
awoken,
a-
so
yeah.
now if he could just kind of like reprogram his buddies, they'd have droids on their side. Which they've got. There was, I think, 4 or 5 of them.
I mean, they definitely
right?
will need droids because
Right.
there aren't enough of them, even with the people on that planet.
Well, and that's the thing. So if they're all somehow connected or whatever, and he can kind of shed that whatever woke him up with the girl, you've got yourself the King's Guard can return to the motherland.
Even
to
better.
fight.
Like, yeah, he's sitting in with a bunch of robots, fucking drawing in sand or something. Like,
Right.
Trying to connect with him. Yes.
Right.
Anything other than bad robot. Yeah.
or like or introducing the
Been cool
like
with.
bringing Sam. Was it Sam?
Sam.
Yeah.
Like bringing Sam to
yeah,
see
yeah,
them.
Yeah.
You know, so they could kind of see if it has the same effect on them that it had on him.
Or him watching like Sam and the soldier bang or something. You know, something cool.
Yeah. Robot sex. Or no, not the robot.
He's a voyeur.
Sam,
He's a
Jimmy,
voyeur.
whatever.
He's like, oh, this is how people are. Okay, I get it.
You are not a robot.
Edward. That's a fun movie.
You
We gotta watch that again.
Post credit.
No, I put We Got One, the trailer for the other half of this
Yeah.
mess.
That's true.
Um,
That's true.
Can the problems in this movie be solved by a cell phone?
I didn't
You
know what
tell
you
me.
meant by that. Do you mean like by
like if it
just,
was-
If somebody
If it
had
wasn't
bringing
a
out your
sci-fi
cell phone
movie.
and just being like, all right, fuck this movie?
I need
or-
some people. So,
No.
so I answered no because you actually have to go out and meet these people in person and bring them
Right.
back to your home planet. But like, could you be in a situation where you could just get on your cell phone and be like, "Oh, it's only like a half mile away. We just go that way."
Yeah.
You
You
know?
could Google the people instead of
Yeah,
take
right.
the word of the
Right.
I guess it's
traitorous.
up for some form of
Yeah.
interpretation. But is there a better ending?
Oh, so we're
Oh,
not.
do you have?
Oh,
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did too.
Oh,
Because I just wrote no
all right.
question mark.
Okay.
Yeah, I had yes. Somebody could have called ahead and informed the farmer. Well, I guess if the farmers didn't have a cell phone, but if cell phones existed, are we saying
They-
one cell phone or cell phones exist?
I would
got
say if
one.
this
Does
one is
everybody
a
have a
fucking-
cell
exist.
phone?
If everybody
They
has a
exist,
cell
yeah.
phone, then
Is
yes.
it the pay
Somebody-
cell phone?
Oh, it's
Are they
not
track phones?
It's not an Obama phone.
Somebody called.
Burner phones?
not a-
Somebody called the farmers and be like, "Yo, we got some bad dudes coming. You might want to prepare."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It ain't. Yeah. Your little words of wisdom and seeds ain't gonna fly. You better learn how to fight and fast. Got anybody among you that might be a good fighter?
Do you think when she poured all the seeds in one spot, there's just gonna be like,
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. If she dumped them.
I was like, oh, she just wasted all those fucking seeds.
I was like, oh, somebody
Gonna
comes
be
along, just kicks all that shit with their foot and spreads it around.
She said she was a farmer. She wasn't a very good
See,
farmer.
that's the shit that I was caring about.
Yeah.
You're not distributing the seeds right.
I was like, oh, she just planted a fucking
Hope you're a better
5
fighter
pounds
than
of
you are a
seed in
farmer.
one spot.
I
She
know.
is.
That's
but,
a lot of
you know,
straw in one
mega
area.
tree.
Yeah.
All that bread, just
All that bread.
whatever it's gonna be. I don't
It's
know.
just one giant
Wheat.
tree. It's
I
a
assumed
pear
it was
tree.
wheat.
She just created
It's
a
all
yeast
wheat.
infection.
It's a pile of
Just created.
Derek?
I put no with a question mark because I wasn't really sure of the question. But
Well, now you know.
I don't know. Maybe like, looking for the through the yellow pages and the automated.
They don't even have it. They're
like
fucking clueless farmer assholes.
please find Prince Tarok.
Yeah.
We have a number for Turok, the dinosaur hunter. You chose Turok.
Why don't you tell me what movie you
Tarok.
want to see?
The last Mimsy.
The last memory.
Why don't you just tell me?
They
what
could have used
movie
his
you
cell
wanna
phone
see?
to call the bad guy who's hanging out in the ice world with all the sharks underneath instead of having to go through that whole thing of beaming what's-his-face up through water. Just be like, yo, boss, got a dead guy down here. You may want to...
Well, I mean, I'm guessing Kai used a cell phone of some sort to contact.
Oh yeah, when nobody
To
was
make
on.
his deal.
Oh, yeah, I got him. I got the girl smiling.
got him.
She's into me.
What's
Yeah,
your
I
Kill
said-
her, kill
yeah, I
her.
wanna
Well, wait,
hear
can I get a little action first? No, kill her. You promised me some action, Ted. So it's because he's Ted,
Ted.
in my world.
Ted Noble.
So, can the problems with this film be stopped with a cell phone? Stopped? Yes. Someone should have called the Netflix execs to beg them to pull the plug on another of Zack Snyder's self-indulgent vanity projects before it wasted millions of their dollars and hours of our time.
I feel like Brian did that. Or tried to.
I know. If
So
only I had
a
the number to
sternly
Netflix.
worded
Dear
letter.
advertisers.
Dear sir and or madam. A director's cut was announced even before this version dropped. Fuck you, Zack Snyder.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a better ending? We'll see. I don't
Yeah, I
It's
know,
not
it hasn't
over
ended
yet,
yet.
right? It's
Is
not
there-
over.
I said I would have just picked one ending.
Yeah.
Just,
were a
yeah, there was a
bunch.
bunch of shit happening.
Derek?
at the end.
I put introduce a new bad guy. I said no. Noble was a great bad guy, but he failed, and after his fall, he should have been he should be completely unreliable.
Ted
Like,
Noble. He's now
Ted Noble. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ted Noble, the soccer coach.
Walter Noble.
Donna Noble.
Donna Noble graduates.
Brian,
Is there a better ending? You mean other than after a 2-hour montage of getting the band together to fight the bad guy, train the farmers, nothing happens, but more setup for part 2? Then yes. See any of the other better Seven Samurai / Magnificent Seven remakes.
there you go.
Gotcha.
That leads into my next. If you like this, you might also like. This is something I picked for my favorite of the year, The Creator.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I think
you
it's
had
a
brought
fucking
that up.
awesome movie.
Oh,
and if
we
you're
were
gonna
supposed to pick movies.
Oh, you could.
Oh, okay.
What'd you put? Suicide.
No, I wanna, no, don't change it. I'm waiting to hear
A
this.
bullet to the head. Is that what you picked?
Of course
I didn't see, but I was.
That's why I moved it. I'm like,
Oh, I
maybe.
can't wait.
Yeah,
you be cheating up
if I
me.
was gonna, if you liked it, you don't. If you hated it and you want to see something good, that's sci-fi, that's new. The Creator, I thought, was fantastic. Similar, they get a little crew together and there's a purpose to them, and you actually get to spend time with the characters and care about the characters and enjoy what they're doing.
Right.
So I would go with that.
Nice. Battle from Beyond the Stars, David Lynch's Dune, Titan AE.
Oh, Titan AE.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
That had a
think I've
good
ever seen that
contemporary soundtrack.
Yes, it did.
That had a fun soundtrack.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never saw it.
I saw that.
You
in
never
the
saw it?
theaters.
That one's the animated one, right?
Yeah.
never saw it.
Drew Barrymore and
Bill Pullman.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Nathan
Yeah.
Lane.
Nathan
Yeah.
Lane.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tone Loc.
Tone Loc
Tone
is in
Loc
that
is in
movie.
that.
Yeah.
He plays the iguana.
He plays a lizard guy. No, he does.
No, actually, he does play.
Does he
an-
really?
Yeah, he is a
So he's-
lizard-like creature.
Yeah.
Like he was in Fern Gully?
I didn't know.
Oh,
Well, he's
yeah.
like an alien
Yeah.
of some kind.
Yeah, he's an alien. He looks
I
like
was making a joke.
He looks
Wow.
like a frog.
Fuck,
Yeah.
awesome.
That's a fun movie, Titan AE.
for him.
Yeah, that's what it made me think of. A lot of weird creatures in bars doing shit. That was like, oh, it's like Titan AE.
Obviously, Magnificent Seven and Seven Samurai.
Mm-hmm.
But I also put Elysium with Matt Damon.
Oh, Elysium.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
remember
saw
that movie.
Is that the guy who made the fucking...
Yeah, Blomkamp.
Yeah, right.
Neil Blomkamp.
Okay,
He
Neil
did
Blomkamp.
District 9.
District 9. That's
Yeah,
what I'm trying to
and
think of,
Chappie.
Could never say that
Oh,
name right.
Chappie. Yeah.
Never saw Chappie.
Yeah, all three have Shalto
Copley.
Copley.
Take that back.
Yeah.
And also Rogue One. Like,
Yeah, good.
That's
I
a
like
good
that
one.
That is a good one.
Yeah, that is
I
a
need
good
to
one.
watch that again.
It's very good.
Yeah, I gotta watch that movie again. Sorry.
I know it's not. Oh, go ahead. You
No, do you have one more?
No, go ahead.
I misunderstood this assignment. If you like this, you might also like bamboo under your fingernails or having bleach poured into your eyes.
I like that.
No, but seriously, then I put... Thank you, Tito. I put Star Wars 7 Samurai or any of its remakes such as Magnificent 7, Battle Beyond the Stars, A Bug's Life, etc., etc.
MVP. You know what? I got 2 MVPs. One, The Cutthroats of Providence. Shout out to Providence, my hometown.
Yeah.
So, and
We
there's
got a guy
Represent,
on
Tito.
Jeopardy right now from Providence.
really.
I think he's still there.
Is
if
he a
I'm not
cutthroat?
mistaken. No. He's good at what he does. He's good at answering questions.
Shout out Planet Providence. My MVP are like the vignettes, these little scenes that I just really enjoy. Nobody's really stealing the show. So I agree with Brian to a certain extent that Sofia Boutella maybe can't carry a movie alone.
I think she's better in small doses.
But I miss the time where like someone like that could carry a movie, like the Steven Seagals and the Cynthia Rothrocks of the world, or like the Don the Dragon Wilsons. Like I liked those movies.
Those were much smaller in scope movies,
Much
though.
smaller in scope
Yeah.
movies. Yes, unfortunately for like this time, it has to be just fucking enormous. Everything's got to be big. Nothing can be really small. Even something that's straight to stream has to be $190 million.
Yeah, over the
which
top.
sucks. Like there's no pressure. There's just too much pressure for her. I think she's fine in this movie. I think
She's fine in this movie, but the big reveal.
Fine.
Fine.
There we go.
Callback. I like that callback.
Wow.
I love that. Remember that?
That
Holy
was like
shit.
about 6 months ago.
It's like last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fine. Pablo Francisco. Thank you. What was I saying? I don't know if necessarily was she couldn't carry the movie. I think it was because everything that was cool about her was revealed in like the first 10 minutes of the movie. So after that, there was no surprises, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm telling you my backstory just so you know who I am.
Yeah.
Well, but
She
there's a
stopped and
lot
did
more
that
to her
twice.
that we don't know yet.
That's
like,
a good point,
yeah.
too.
Like we don't know
I didn't have a problem
how
with
she
it.
actually left. Like she ended up leaving. Like we didn't really see that.
She waved a cool flag. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
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 She crashed somewhere.
Yeah.
She banged
She
a good
crashed
belt.
on
Yeah,
that.
she had that gun.
She had the
that,
belt.
that her
Those
stepdad
dudes.
held.
She's jacked. She's got that muscle, too. Awesome. I
I
wouldn't
did like
pick a
that
fight
gun.
with her.
It reminded me of the Judge Dredd gun.
It did, didn't it? Yeah, the lawgiver.
Oh, remember Judge Dredd? The lawgiver.
It made me think
That's
of
from
John
Mystery Science
Leguizamo's gun from Romeo and Juliet.
I'm amazed you didn't have John Leguizamo on
Like
your
the Prince
team,
on
now
it.
that I think about it, Tito.
Yeah, Luigi.
Yeah. No Johnny
Or
Legs.
the clown.
Joey Pants. You went all Val.
True. That's true.
Sorry.
There wasn't enough space for everybody. I'd bring them all with me
That's
if I
true.
could.
Good point, you. What are we? MVP. Nemesis. Of course. I've said it throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
She was awesome. I wanted more of her, and I hope I get more of her.
I think you will, and I have a feeling that she'd probably get a spin-off something or other.
Right.
I would be okay with that.
I hope so.
I would watch
It's
that.
fairly obvious. She's
There you go.
I could also see Charlie Hunnam getting a spin-off or prequel
Everybody
or
else.
something
Prequel, yeah.
because he's fucking Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie.
That handsome motherfucker.
He starts up a biker gang, an intergalactic biker gang.
I love it.
Biker
From
Mice
Mars?
from
I
Mars,
was
the
just gonna
movie.
say that, yeah.
I think he's going to be too busy. He's going to be playing Green Arrow. In,
For real?
In James Gunn's. Well, everybody wants him to. I don't know.
Oh, okay. It's not official.
It's
though.
not official, but
That's a good cast.
speculation.
If it happens.
My MVP is Screen, is Ted Noble.
Ted Noble.
yeah.
He's just totally heinous
pretty
and
good.
hateable.
He's heinous. He looks like
I
an
loved
heinous.
it. Yeah, he's just slimy and just. You need someone like that to elicit that type of feeling and emotion
Yeah.
to get you invested.
That's funny because I
Kind of.
feel like I can't. I at no point did I think to pick him because I really want to pick somebody else, but I can't because nobody's really stealing the show. But he is.
Right.
He does a really good job being who he is.
And I know we didn't do this category,
Yeah.
we got rid of this, but I threw it in there anyway. The "What are you doing here?" is Ray Fisher, because he was totally unrecognizable.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had no idea it was him until I saw the credits, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go with that too.
Yeah.
Or
I
the
would've-
guy from Ant-Man.
I would have given it to Jenna
Oh, Malone.
Malone there. I
Yeah.
didn't even know that was hers. The
Oh,
Guy from
Yellow
Ant-Man.
Jacket.
Yellow
Farmer.
Jacket.
Farmer.
Corey Stoll.
yeah.
We could switch
Farmer
out the cell
Beard.
phone and bring that one back. I didn't even make that one up. I asked somebody, "You got a cool idea for it?" And I was like, "Oh, that's kind of interesting. I'll throw it out there." But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
It works. I didn't know.
It's a process, guys.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
liked my
process.
answer. I thought mine was
I liked
really
your
good.
answer.
What's your MVP, sir?
Is going? It's Netflix for giving
bamboo
Zack-
sticks under your fingernails. That's what it is.
Yes. It's Netflix for giving Snyder free reign to keep making trash. Like
Oh, I
this.
thought for having the balls to piss you off once again.
Love them or hate these movies. We're watching them. We're talking about them.
point. Yeah,
we're gonna
true.
we're gonna watch
true.
the sequel.
We are.
We'll have more
We're
to
gonna
talk
watch it
about.
together. We'll have popcorn. We'll do each other's hair. Have
That's
us
it.
bald, but
That's it. We'll,
Talk about boys.
we'll make our own Providence gay bar to watch it and
We will.
That's right. We're cutthroats, bitches.
selling grain to people on the side.
It's true.
That it?
That's it.
Did we
Yeah.
plow through those
yeah, we did.
categories like a farmer plows a field?
Badly.
Badly? Okay.
Dropping seeds in
awesome.
one clump.
I thought it was funny. Here we go. What's making our geek flags fly, gentlemen?
Real quick shout out Ronan. It's his birthday. My son.
Happy birthday, Ronan.
Ronan. Season 4 of True Detective is coming out. I never watched season 3,
I didn't either.
so I binged it recently.
And
I really, really liked it.
Yeah?
It's Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
It's Steven Dorff. I think they're really good. It bounces between 3 different decades. So he plays a young, oldish, and then an older version of. They all do older versions of themselves, and it's a murder, and they keep getting the suspect wrong, but it's kind of not his fault. But I was really impressed.
Yeah.
I
love him.
It's hard to beat season 1. Season 1's fucking.
season 1 with the Yellow King.
You can't
and,
top it. It's amazing. I liked 2.
Mm-hmm.
I thought 2 was fine.
Yeah.
I like fucking
2 lost me a
Colin
little.
Farrell. I
Yeah.
think Colin Farrell.
It was one of the first things I watched with Colin Farrell where I actually liked him.
Oh, so that made me start to really like
Right.
Colin Farrell was that show. And that was enough to get me through it. So I liked that season. But season 3, Mahershala Ali, Steven Dorff was really good in it. It's a fun, interesting season. It'll never top 1, but I'm really looking forward to 4 with Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster is awesome.
So
I'll have to check that out.
I blew through that. It's only it was 8 episodes. It was fun.
Cool.
But that's it. That's the only new thing besides Rebel. I was gonna try to think of something clever. Rebel, whatever.
Rebel Spoon.
Rebel Spoon.
Rebel
shit.
Spoon.
A dumpster of fire.
Yeah. Dumpster of
Rebel
fire.
Poon?
Oh, Rebel
Oh, that's
Moon.
dirty.
Yeah,
No.
Well, that's the thing
Dumpster
too
of
is
fire.
they never even describe what the child of fire is.
If they had
I
set
think
her
it's
on
supposed to be her.
fire at
Is it
one
her?
point,
Because
they
the next
would've.
one's called Scargiver, and they called her the Scargiver at the end of this
Oh,
one
right.
too.
Scargiver.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Mad Max
I think
villain.
it's a
I know.
metaphor.
Like toe cutter.
because they burned her planet,
I think it's a metaphor.
so she's like the
Yeah.
child of that fire. I guess.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Because she's a child of war.
Right.
You
Or
know,
maybe the
she's
princess is
seen
the
nothing
child of
but that
fire.
since she was a kid.
Maybe her dad was a fireman.
Oh,
Maybe.
interesting.
I don't know.
Lad of
Nobody
46.
Maybe her dad fucked the fire.
Her dad's just.
You done fight? It's like Family Guy. Back then, firemen had to fight fire with their fists. Come on. So my geek flag, I stumbled upon this little gem called the Christmas tapes. A family on Christmas Eve is taken hostage by a mysterious stranger who ends up being a psycho who forces them at gunpoint to watch a collection of VHS tapes, each with a found footage holiday horror short. The psycho is played by Greg Sestero.
Oh,
No
he
way.
is also the producer of this movie.
Come on.
Definitely worth a watch for, and Harley, I'm talking to you, definitely worth a watch for anthology fans, found footage fans, or people who love or embrace The Room.
Really?
And here's the kick. Greg Sestero is good in it.
really?
Yeah.
He's really good as the psycho.
What is it streaming on?
Right now, I've only found it on Screambox. If you can find it anywhere.
It says that it's free on Vudu.
Oh, is it on? It's free on
Oh,
Vudu.
Derek's whipping out the phone.
Yeah. So I'm looking at where to watch. It says YouTube. Everything else is pay, but Vudu says free.
All right,
So I don't know.
so I recommend
true
that
that
this
is.
was a surprise to me, and the only reason I watched it was because Greg Sestero. I
Sestero.
thought it was going to be hilarious garbage.
Yeah.
It is surprisingly good, and most of the stories in the anthology
Oh,
are
Vernon Wells?
creative. And yes, Vernon Wells is in it too.
Wow.
Yeah,
who
Free
we
with Us.
saw
Yeah.
in
Yep.
Silent Night, Zombie Night.
Dave
right.
Sheridan, who plays Doofy.
Doofy's in
is
it.
in it.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Check it out, Greg Sestero fans. You will not be. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Let's go there. I've said that before about movies.
Does he throw any footballs or
No, he doesn't. No, he's really good. This is a good movie.
bang anybody's girlfriend?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm really busy. That's amazing how actually the performance is really good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
See what happens when you're not under the shadow of Tommy Wiseau.
That's what
Right.
it was.
Living in his shadow.
Derek.
It's a big, big.
It
shoes
is.
to
It is
fill.
a big looming
Yeah.
shadow.
Rumpled shadow.
All right, so I've got a bunch of stuff, but it's all related because thanks to Dean's recommendation of the James Bonding podcast, I've been on a wicked James Bond kick for the last couple of weeks. Between showing some love for the bottom tier Bond flicks, I don't watch as much as the better ones like On Her Majesty's Secret Service, View to a Kill, Thunderball, Octopussy, Die Another Day. I rewatched World Is Not Enough, and I always thought that I didn't like that movie, but it is probably one of the better Bond movies.
Is that a Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah.
It is.
Is that the one with
the only
who's
so
the
the
girl
my
in
biggest
that?
it's Denise Richards, and my biggest
Crispus
complaint was
Oh, you
that
hate her.
Crispus Jones.
So, like-
I don't hate her. I hate the idea that she's playing like a
A
nuclear
nuclear
physicist.
scientist, yeah.
But
You can't buy that.
but I you know what? But I looked past it for this, and I enjoyed this.
Okay.
I enjoyed a lot more than I think I did in the past.
Is that the one where Jonathan Pryce is a bad guy?
No, that's Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never
That's
Dies.
a good. I like that one too.
Okay.
Is this one with Sophie Marceau?
This is Sophie Marceau and
Sophie Marceau.
the guy from
Sophie
Full Monty.
Marceau. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, I know.
Robert Carlyle.
Carlyle.
Begbie from
Begbie,
Trainspotting.
yeah.
Begbie.
He played, and he actually, his name is my name. He plays Renard.
His name is my name.
I thought you were going to say Derek.
Renard.
I thought you said I'm going to say his name is Begbie.
Begbie.
That's what you say then.
Now we already call you
Turok?
Sweet Tea. We could call you. It's Derek.
Turok? Why is that guy's name Derek?
That's it, Derek.
From a sand planet?
I also have been reading a bunch of Bond comics. Dynamite Entertainment is the ones that put out all the Bond comics like since.
Oh, they got some good stuff. Man.
I don't know, probably like late '90s. I think I mentioned it last week. I was reading the Lost Adventures of James Bond. The book,
Yeah.
By Mark Edlitz. Brian got that for me last year. I've been cracking that open and reading some of it. Like, it's cool because it breaks down. It doesn't have the scripts, but
Right.
it has like a whole
What they were
synopsis,
planning,
right?
yes.
So like you're reading full on from start to finish
Yeah.
what the movie would have been.
It's the unmade movies of what's his
Mostly
name?
Timothy Dalton.
Timothy Dalton.
And then he kind of dives into some of the other stuff. Like there's a whole chapter on James Bond Jr., which is actually a cartoon I used to watch. I used to love that
Oh, I
show.
watched
Remember
that
show?
cartoon.
Right.
Bond,
Yeah.
James Bond Jr.
A lot of insight on how like on the producers and how the writers work. But that's cool. And also spy related, Spy Wars with Damian Lewis. I don't know if any of you have ever seen this show.
No.
I have not.
So it's on Paramount. So he hosts it. And each episode, it's all about real life spies and things that have happened. The first episode was like a Russian guy that defected. During the Cold War. He was the reason why everything got de-escalated because he fed some information to the States, and Reagan kind of backed off with a lot of his nuke talk.
Okay.
The second one was about all those sleeper agents that got from a few years back. The illegals. There were like 9 Russian spies that had embedded themselves into America. They were like living. Anna Chapman.
Okay, I
Anna
do
Chapman
remember
was
that.
probably the most famous one.
Yeah.
Right. So each episode is like that. They did
Anna
a
Chapman.
really good one on London, on the Heathrow. The whole reason why we don't have why after 9/11 they stopped letting people bring liquids, like any liquids, is because of something that happened. It was a plot that they took down in London, and it got foiled, and it was all about how like by the end of it they had like 800 something agents on the street, like tailing people and like just looking like random people out on the street. It's a really, really cool show.
That's creepy.
Sheds a lot of light, a lot of stuff on the Cold War and how the Cold War is still kind of going on, and just the advances of technology.
Did you say it was on Paramount?
Paramount Plus? Yeah. Yep. So that's it.
Cool.
I know. I'm sorry. It was a lot.
Cool.
I just got one thing. Last night I saw Night Swim with my dad. Tuesday
That movie
night
looks
movie
scary,
night.
man. I hate underwater shit.
Yeah, this was a haunted swimming
do,
pool.
man.
It was. They showed
The
it.
haunted
We
swimming
did,
pool.
We-
yeah,
me and
and
Brian went
they had
to
the
the thing.
director. They brought the director out too. I thought, didn't
Yeah.
they?
Yep.
Yeah.
The guy with the leather jacket. Too
That
cool.
was him. Yeah,
Too cool for school.
That was him. Yeah, when we did the New York Comic Con, Derek and I went to the Blumhouse panel, and this was one of the movies that they were talking about. They brought the director out and talked about the
Short
movie.
film first, right? It was
a short film first, but the full length movie was really good. I was surprised. I didn't realize that Wyatt Russell was starring in it.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And Kerry Condon plays his wife, and she looked familiar to me. The only thing that I remember seeing her in was the Banshees of Inisherin from last year.
Oh, was she the sister?
She's Siobhan. Was that the name of the sister?
Yeah, I
it might have been.
believe
But she's also the voice of Friday.
Oh, okay.
From
Yep.
the Avengers.
Oh, yeah,
Iron
yeah.
Man's AI. But it was cool. It was a haunted swimming pool. Again, I'm like Tito. I don't like underwater stuff. I don't like things that do with drowning and whatnot. And especially when the pool cover goes over the pool by itself while people are in it. Oh, yeah. It's scary. It's creepy. Scary.
So it's haunted then.
It is
I
haunted.
thought it was a creature.
There are,
It's haunted by
but it's haunted
creatures?
by the creatures.
So-
They're like the ghosts, I guess,
Okay.
but they manifest themselves in certain ways.
So worth
Yeah.
seeing.
I
It's
would,
on
I
your
would say
geek
so.
flag, it's worth
Yes,
seeing.
it's absolutely worth seeing.
All
Yeah,
right.
I liked it.
Because I remember the big question was like, how are they going to stretch that
Yes,
scary
yeah.
short into a full length?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
good. I'm glad that they were able to do it.
they did. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a good story.
Blumhouse.
Blumhouse.
Love 'em.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for that, and I actually
do
was like,
wanna
"Oh,
see
I
that.
would like to see
Yeah,
that. It looks
yeah.
kind of cool." And then I was like, "I can't watch
Hopefully,
that."
it'll be streaming soon.
Watch
Underwater.
party.
They're all underwater. I don't fuck with that.
Yeah,
Is that everything?
That's it.
everything.
Woo, what an episode, guys. Great job. Awesome job. That'll wrap it up for another episode of Three Geeky Dads. If you like what you've heard tonight, and why wouldn't you, and you haven't heard us before this and are foolish enough to come back for more, not foolish because we're awesome, and listen to us rave and rant and relish and relinquish and rush and rouse and Rousdower. Brian, where can they go?
they can go to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.
The number 3.
GDpodcast.com. As Mark said, you'll be able to find all of our episodes there, including the director's cut ones. See what I did? And
Go to the Snyder episode, Snyder Cut episode of Justice League, and listen to Brian said he liked it. He
good
did.
things.
He did like it.
I said I
liked
liked
it.
it better than the
Liked it
first
better,
one.
Yes.
Anyway,
Sorry.
along with all of our episodes, you'll be able to find one-click buttons where you will be able to subscribe to us if you're not already. Smash one of those buttons to the podcast platform of your choice, and you will be able to hear all of our episodes in its entirety. And let's see, our email links are there. Our social media links are there. We can be found on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our audio can be found weekly on YouTube. We have a Ko-fi page, which is similar to Patreon. If you like us, and we hope you do, and you would like to maybe consider donating a little bit to help keep the show going and growing, it would be greatly appreciated. Every little bit helps because, as we say, podcasting is not cheap. And with that, I'm just going to say thank you out there, everybody, for listening. And back to you, Mark.
Thank you, guys, and thank you. In fact, yes, I agree with Brian. I, too, thank you all for listening. We all thank you all for listening. So until next time, for Three Geeky Dads, this is Mark
I'm Derek.
I'm Brian.
I'm Tito.
saying good night and keep watching the skies because part 2 of Rebel Moon is coming soon. But don't worry, Brian, because everything will be fine. Thank you for bringing that back, Tito.
I'm bringing it back.
My pleasure.
Good night, folks.
Come back home, Pablo. Oh, it is fucking Anthony Hopkins.
No, it's Anthony Hopkins.
That's not what's on the streaming thing. They're all at the bottom.
Yeah,
Back when he was still black.
that one. No, that's.
No, that's not it.
It's pronounced
Remember when Anthony Hopkins did good movies like Free Jack
Remember when he did movies and he stayed
in the movie?
I think that thing is that that droid's gonna come back in the second one.
Of course he is. And now he's got antlers.
Listen, you know,
Why does he have
Anthony
antlers? Did the
Hopkins.
Wendigo?
No, because so
It was
the
very
last time
like,
you see him
Yeah.
before that is when he
how much
shoots
is,
the guy,
Yellow Jackets.
right?
Oh, so it's like his war.
and he walks off. He just leaves. He doesn't stay in.
I
like,
don't
talk
think we
to
finished
people.
the
He
second
just
season,
vanishes.
honestly.
He leaves.
Well, you watched the first
Because
season.
Oh, yeah.
When
He
I
just
saw
broke
him, I
protocol.
just kept thinking of Yellow Jackets.
Right.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
he's thinking to himself,
You're right.
and I think that
Fucking
the
antlers
end, like he's, I don't know, he's become one with nature or some shit. I don't know, but I think that he's,
nature bot.
He really liked the daisies, the crown of daisies.
Oh, yeah,
well, because of the girl.
Sam.
The little, yeah,
That girl.
the cutie pie.
That girl.
The Nazis thought so too.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yes, they did. Except for that other guy, the kid. I figured the kid would have gone on the quest with them,
Yeah.
like the one that was trying to protect her.
Oh, we'll get to it.
I think he's still with her, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
She's with child.
I didn't watch the trailer. You said the trailer's out for the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
can we
stuck
watch
the
it?
trailer at the end of this movie,
Yeah, it
too.
actually played right at the end.
Yeah. I forgot about that. I know. Dude, I was the same way with the credits the first time. I'm like, it's done. Fuck this. Bye.
I don't recall.
Can we do this? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm
All right, let's do
recording.
it. Let's do it. Oh, let's watch that.
Yeah, that
No,
one's
it's
got Ice-T,
Cube. Oh, it is
no,
Ice-T.
Ice-T, Ice Cube, Bill Paxton, William Sadler.
What the hell? I've never seen this movie. I want to.
Trespass, yeah.
I want these movies.
Damn.
Yeah, buy that one.
I'm gonna. Well, not that one. Alien Trespass.
And
with
buy
Rob Lowe. No, thank
Yeah,
you.
by Alien Trespass.
yeah, don't buy Alien Trust.
What does that mean?
Forgive us, aliens, as they trespass against us.
Oh.
Ouch.
Lead us not into
Hello,
damnation, but deliver us from pizza.
Pizza the Hut.
Pizza. Ate himself.
You're delicious, boss.
Death
No.
Pizza's coming for you.
is not what I want. It's
You know, that movie was spot on too, because he really did look like Pizza Hut pizza.
He
Yeah.
did.
He didn't look
He
like any
did.
other type of
Dude,
pizza.
that
He
shit-
looked like
that
Pizza
shit
Hut.
was-
Disgusted me.
Same.
Man.
Pizza Hut pizza was
Oh,
gross.
when he ate it, I was like, oh. What the? You can't
When he's
do
laughing
that.
and the pepperoni falls in his
Oh.
mouth, it's like that
himself,
one
yeah.
Who plays
pepperoni.
that guy, the Max Headroom guy?
Matt Frewer.
No, Matt Frewer plays Max Headroom.
Yeah, I thought that's what you meant.
Who is
plays
who is
Vinny?
the Vinny, the one
Oh,
that's
the
like
Goomba? I don't know.
he's like a take on him,
Yeah.
I think, right?
No, I thought he was.
Isn't he supposed
He's just supposed to be like an android, like,
Gangster.
mob guy.
I thought
Yeah.
with the shades he looked like
Yeah.
like he was Max Headroom.
Tell
Pizza's
him,
coming
Vinny.
for you.
You're
Is he a
delicious.
robot? I thought he was a robot.
Yeah, like a
But I always
is.
thought of Max Headroom too when I saw him.
right.
Yeah. I always thought about that too. Why don't I know what this movie is called?
Fucking Vinny. Tim Roth was in that movie?
Rudy DeLuca?
It says Tim Roth.
No, he was. He was.
Yeah,
in it.
he was in Spaceballs. As
Who
what?
was he in Spaceballs?
Doesn't say.
He was the balls.
Hey Siri, who did Tim Roth play in Spaceballs?
Vinny was played by Rudy DeLuca.
Rudy DeLuca. He's one of Mel Brooks' writers. They've written
okay.
like all of Mel Brooks' movies together.
I gotcha. I watched The Life of Brian last night.
I recently watched The Producers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The original. Or
Yeah, the original.
Yeah.
Yep. I haven't seen the remake.
That's all right.
And I hadn't seen the original in a long, long time.
Yeah, the producers. What
Thurman.
remake? But,
Yeah.
See, I don't like Uma Thurman.
Well, and it's got the murderer.
Except in Pulp Fiction, and even then, I can take her or leave her.
It's got the guy who
Actually,
killed the guy.
She's cool. Who?
Yeah, Rudy DeLuca.
No.
Rudy DeLuca killed the guy?
No.
Yeah,
Ferris
Rudy
Bueller.
DeLuca.
Ferris Bueller. What's his name?
Oh. Is
Matthew
that the one
Broderick.
with Nathan Lane, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Nathan Lane's great.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Lane is
He's
fucking
great.
great.
He is fucking
He is
great.
hilarious.
Dude, the Birdcage. Awesome.
Birdcage is hilarious.
Thank God for Lion King, because
Thank
that
God,
really
yeah.
that
Agreed.
brought him out into the.
Thank God
The
for
open.
Lion King.
Brought him out of the closet and into the
I
spotlight.
think it was Lion King. You know what I saw
What
recently?
year was Spaceballs?
When I was on my Pacino kick, I had never seen Frankie and Johnny.
Oh, with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh,
and
wow.
fucking
That's
love that
awesome.
movie.
That's the one that
You
takes
get to
place
watch-
at a diner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
You get
that.
to watch Michelle Pfeiffer, get excited in that movie. And
Yeah.
I always thought, as a young kid seeing that on HBO late at night, that was wonderful.
Uh-huh.
I
Nathan
don't
Lane
remember
is,
the movie at all, but I
Nathan
remember
Lane's her
that.
Well, you
roommate
remember
in it,
that.
and he's really funny. Nathan Lane plays the roommate.
I used to love her. Oh.
I still do.
Who?
Yeah.
Michelle?
I still do.
Pfeiffer.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care how old she gets. She's breathtaking.
Have any of you seen
You'd
Mother?
fight that
Breathtaking.
cougar.
Took your breath away?
She took my breath away, just like the cats in Batman
They
Returns.
steal babies' breaths.
They do.
Yes, they do.
But they can bring you back to life with cat powers too.
Yeah.
That's what
That's also
that's
true.
what Batman Returns taught me. Ready to rock? Let's
If it
do this,
taught you
dude.
anything-
I'm still trying to find Tim Roth in fucking
Oh, Spaceballs?
Spaceballs, but I'm not finding him.
Maybe he was an extra, you know.
Siri didn't know?
No.
Scotty?
Can't trust these
Brought up a
computers.
different. She brought up
No.
a different Tim Roth. So
Oh, maybe it's.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
that's what it
Snotty,
is.
beam me down. Yes, sir. Immediately, sir.
I can't find it. Anyway,
Snotty beamed me last week. It was wonderful.
All right, take a shot at it. What the hell? It worked on Star Trek. It's beastly. What happened to it?
That's one of the searches. When I put who is Tim Roth,
Yeah.
put in Spaceballs.
it's because it must have heard me.
Had to be. Maybe it was like
That shit is freaky. I
uncredited.
fucking hate that. When you're talking about something, and then all of a sudden in your Facebook, you're scrolling through, and there's ads for whatever you were talking about.
Uh-huh. All the time.
Take it easy over there. What are you doing?
What?
You're slamming shit.
Did I?
This ain't a Western, bitch. Oh, we can't swear because we got kids down here.
That's all right.
Quinn, ignore everything you hear.
We're just pretending to be Batman.
That's
Per
right.
usual.
It's the characters we play.
That's right. We're getting into character now.
Ready?
Okay, let's do it. Yep.
You ready, Brian?
I'm ready.
Okay. Is it recording?
It's recording.
All right. Double check. Yep.
We good?
Okay.
He is so tight.
Siobhan, my legs went numb again.
But we got our appetizer.
Yeah. I need you to wipe my ass again. My hands went numb too.